Well, hello. Well, it's been a lovely day today. Yeah, we've had thunderstorms that woke me up, thunder and lightning. But fingers crossed it didn't rain in the bay. No. So, well, yeah, I don't think you want to see half of my cocker, do you? Let's move it over a bit. Oh, no light today. I forgot it. Never mind. So who's going to be number one? Numero uno. Who's going to say hello to me first today? It's Nathan. Hi. Hi. Hi, Chris. Hi, Sophie. Hi, Esther. The weather has been thundering and lightning and it's been raining. But thankfully, my bay window hasn't been leaking. There's always a silver lining to something or other. Hi, Judy. You know, the rain will be doing the plants good. Although I've ordered some stake things, what they call them, stakes, poles, because everything's a bit flopsy. My sunflowers are growing a bit now, so they need propping up. They're a bit floppy doodles. So I've got some stakes and round things that you put round plants coming tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, that's a bit hot. I was going to take my pills, but it's a bit hot. Well, I've had an eventful week. Yeah, almost the first. Yep, you were almost the first, Chris. Yeah. Hi, Linda. Well, I've made 3 videos so far this week, and not one of them you will see. I used my new my new to me camera that my son bought me. Yeah, I'm holding it up with a stake, that kind of a stake, not stake, that kind of stake. So anyway, I made 3 videos this week. The first one, I look like a Smurf. I could say I made a blue video, but it wouldn't be that kind of blue video. It was just blue completely. I looked like I was, even my hands were blue. Everything was blue. Everything I was holding up was blue. So I thought, no, I can't put that up. So I mentioned it to my friend and she said, oh, it's something to do with the apertures or something. I'll open it up for you and make it brighter. So she said, let me know how you go on. So I made video 2 with my old camera, which I managed to charge up by wiggling everything. Made a beautiful video, lovely video, puts it onto my PC. We don't recognise the format. Do you want us to format your SD card? Oh, yes, I said. Boom. Wiped it clean. So that was video 2 gone to the wall. So video 3, I thought I'd try the blue camera again, see if it's less blue. It was slightly less blue, but I was talking and my mouth was going at a different speed. And plus the fact it cut off in the middle and divided my video into 2 and missed a whole chunk out in the middle. So I thought, I'm not going to put that up, because even though it was less blue, it's annoying when somebody's gone and it doesn't match up with what's being said, I thought, no, that would annoy me no end. Yeah. So, oh, hi, Judy. So, against all my better judgment and against my bank balance's judgment, I've ordered another camera and it's coming tomorrow. So I've ordered it from Amazon because I thought if it's not right and there's something wrong with it, I can send it back. So wish me luck with camera number 3 and video number 4, which will be maybe tomorrow, if I haven't lost patience with the whole thing. My hair was blue, Chris. Everything was blue. And I held my hands up at one time and they were absolutely blue. Well, if you're looking at my finger, how can you burn your finger down your fingernail? I did. So I've got a blister. I've got some cream on it. I've got a blister down my fingernail and it's blooming sore. I don't know how I managed it. How can you burn your finger down your fingernail? If there's anything to be done that's weird, I'm your girl. Yeah. So My bank balance is going down to minimum because I cannot. My friend said to me, you actually need a new phone, which I do. Need a new phone, but again, on the list. You can do your videos with the phone. I don't like doing videos with the phone. I don't know. There's something about holding a little phone up like that. It doesn't seem right. I like to look at myself on a big bit, you know. So let's just see whether this new camera coming tomorrow works. Because if it doesn't, they can blooming well have it back. Because don't play with matches. No, I'm not playing with matches. No. Ooh. Don't have any matches. Oh yeah, I do have matches. I have matches for my what do you call them? Incense sticks. Yeah, incense sticks. I do. Oh dear. Right, well I've got my coffee. I need to take my pills because my back hurts. But we won't go into that. We won't have. Oh, I've been talking to Sue. Just come off the phone not half an hour ago with Sue. Having a good chat. And I said to her, when are you coming down? So she says, I'll have to sort something out. I said, I've got a blow-up mattress, but I need to buy a mattress topper because it's not nice, is it, sleeping on plastic? I know I've got sheets, but... So I put that on my wish list. I'll never have any money, will I? Never have any money. I don't like using my phone for videos. It's not a brilliant phone, as you know. It's not singing, dancing phone. It just is a phone. And it doesn't last long, the video, and besides which, it runs out of battery very quickly. So I'm old school. I'm used to a camera. I like the lighting. And I wouldn't know where to prop. I'd have to buy something to prop the phone up in, wouldn't I? You know what I mean? And I'd have to have it facing. Oh, nah. Sorry and all that, but I do need a new phone though, but I can't afford it, you know. I know I keep going on about I can't afford it, but money. What's money? Just, can you ask the universe to send some money via, you know, maybe the lottery? Just ask the universe, yeah. I'm waiting, yeah. The universe isn't listening. Never mind. I should stop pulling faces because they always make those into my, what do you call them, my screenshot. They always pick something when I'm going, you know, yeah. Oh, my phone, yeah, I know, I always forget to switch it off, don't I, when I'm making, it went off when I made the video that didn't turn out. The blue, I can't keep saying that, blue video, it makes it sound like I'm making porno or something. It was a Smurf blue video, yeah. Excuse me while I take my pills, my back's hurting. Oh, it won't go down. Oh, and it tastes vile. Oh, cocodamol is not the right when it sticks in your throat. Oh, that's terrible. I need a sweet now to get rid of the taste. Oh, I've got 2 more to take. Oh, I have terrible trouble swallowing tablets. Oh, gosh. Oh, that is a vile taste in my mouth now. Oh, that's another good bit for the thumbnail, isn't it? Ah, dear me. Right, what have we all been up to? It's knit or crochet in public day to day. Well, there was no way I was going out in the rain. In public, no. Oh, you know, if Sheila lived near me, she'd be wonderful. She'd sort out everything for me. But I'm not near her and she's not near me. We can't do things remote control. We've tried. Yeah, hey Val. Hi Enid. Yeah, Sheila's been well, tried to be very helpful to me, but of course, you know, with her living so far away. Well, she has transport, but she doesn't like to drive very far. And I don't have transport. So, you know, public transport, no. Oh my God, I've got suitcases under my eyes. I think I need plastic surgery. Not that I'd do it because I'm scared. Oh, dear me. And how are you, Val? Are you all right? Are you home or are you gone on your travels again? That girl never stays home. She's very envious. She's always on her holidays. Very, very envious. Val, I'm on shawl number 8 for Sue. So it's actually shawl number 14. But 2 got given away. 4 I've already given to Sue. So I'm on my 8th one at the moment. I did show them off on my video, the one that when I couldn't put up. Yeah. You'll see them one day. You'll see them one day. You went to your local knit club this morning. So did Linda. Or no, I don't know whether she went to the knit club or whether she was just knitting at the bingo. But she was knitting in public anyway. I wasn't. I wasn't going to sit in on the seafront in the rain with me crochet. I did manage to do my shopping. I sneaked in between the rain. I sneaked. Got my shopping done. Oh, past a lady, bless her, coming back from shopping on her scooter. And she was loaded up with bags. She'd got bags hanging off a handlebar. She'd got bags at the front and bags at the back. I thought, oh, bless. I said, I'll be like that on the way back. But I wasn't quite. I put one in my backpack, my back suitcase. One fitted in my suitcase and 2 fitted like at the front of me, you know, in between. Yeah. My friend and I went to Affinity. Well, 2 friends and I went to Affinity and we had a nice brunch at Katie's. And she went into, I don't know if it's Pound Stretcher or whether it's Home Bargains or what the heck it is. I said to her, you are not buying big plant pots again, are you? Do you remember the tale I told you about when she bought these? She's got a scooter as well as me. Didn't she come out with 2 plant pots? I said, will you never learn? You cannot fit plant pots. So she got 2 plant pots. She's got a duvet cover and everything and something else she'd bought. And it was all piled up on her scooter. It's a wonder she could see where she was going. I tell you, between us, we need a trailer. You know, if we go shopping together, we need a trailer on the back. You know, one of those little things like they cart dogs about in. You know, we need one of them, or kids. We need a tow bar. When he comes to do my servicing on my scooter, you know, because I have mobility, I'm going to say, is it possible to have a tow bar put on it? Hi, Julian. Yeah, I'll get in touch with Sue, Val, when I've done a few more. They keep giving me wool at me. I mean, I'm not grumbling. But because they're sort of in agreement with what I'm doing, you know, making these shawls, my knit club ladies keep giving me part balls of wool that they've got left over from things. So instead of my stash going down, it's kind of going up, you know. But I'm not complaining. I'll keep going. Till I got really fed up, I'll keep going. Hey, Nathan. Oh, I wish I could get rid of that awful taste. Oh, la, la. Yeah, this is shawl number 8. I love these bags you get with Wool Warehouse. This is 2 balls of grey that I must have been intending to. Yeah, I need a beach rescue of seafront scooters. I've already done that when I had to push my friend up the seafront, if you remember. I had to keep bumping her from behind because she ran out of battery when we were halfway home. And we were on the middle of the seafront, so they couldn't come and rescue her because they can't take the rescue vehicles onto the seafront. So I said, well, I'll push you till you get to the main road. So I had to keep going behind and going. Vroom, vroom. I mean, both of us were laughing so much. It's a wonder people didn't wonder what the heck was going on. Because she kept slowing down and I kept pushing her a bit forward. Then she'd scoot forward a bit and then she'd slow down again. Don't want to do that again. By the time I'd finished pushing her, I run out of battery myself near enough. Because scooters are not meant to push too weighted, you know. Anyway, I had one ball each of 2 shades of grey. So once again, I'm thinking of the gentleman that may be in the nursing home or old folks home or whatever you want to call it, senior citizens. So I'm doing 2 rows of each so that I don't have to, I can cover up the taily bits. When I do 1 row of each, I've got so many ends to darn in. I've just finished one in all shades of pinks and purples. I think I was doing it last week, wasn't I? And, all those ends I had to sew in. It was a nightmare. So I decided to do 2 rows of each. And if I run out, I've got like a sort of a denim-y blue I can stick around the edge if I run out. So, hi Connie. Well, I don't know about everybody else. I think I'm all right, you know. I've just took my pills, so, you know, hopefully I'm all right, yeah. Oh, dear. Hi, Glenda. Hey. So have you all been knitting in public? I bet you haven't, have you? It's not been the weather for it if you're in the UK. You don't mind knitting in public if it's a nice sunny day and you can have a little sunbathe, you know. I might have even ventured out onto the seafront if it had been sunny and nice. It actually wasn't too cold because I'd put my coat on, you know, because of it raining. Well, I thought it was going to rain. And I was really hot in my coat. But if I'd have took my coat off, I didn't have anywhere to put it, you know, because my scooter was a bit crowded, yeah. But I had to go shopping because, you know, my fridge was looking a little bit like Mother Hubbard's cupboard, so I had to go out. Hi. Oh, excuse me. I've got the hiccups now. It's that blinking tablets I just took. Ooh. I just half watched Sheila and then I realised it was time for me to do my live, so I had to stop watching her and start my own. 1 minute it's 8 o'clock and then the next minute it's like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. I don't know what happens between 8 and 9, but it seems to go past. It's been too hot and sticky. Oh, it's been what I call muggy here. You know when you know there's going to be a thunderstorm and it goes sort of hot and humid and weird. And the sky goes weird, doesn't it, when you're waiting for thunder? It woke me up this morning, actually. I mean, luckily it didn't wake me up too early. It was nearly time to get up. But it was like crash. And I thought, what on earth? And I'm laying in bed thinking, what was that? And then I realised, thunder. I don't like thunder and lightning. I'm a scaredy cat. Scaredy cat when it comes to thunder and lightning. Some people like storms. I hate them. I'm terrified of the things, yeah. So the Amazon man will be coming again with some more cardboard. My cardboard bin got empty, only come once a month. It got emptied on Wednesday and it's nearly full again with all what wouldn't fit in it before. Oh, I need a bigger bin. No, we've had a lot of rain. We've had torrential rain. And then other days it's been beautifully sunny. I mean, when we went to Affinity, the 2 friends and I won't say it was beautiful, but it wasn't bad. You know, I didn't have my coat on. Yeah. You've had rain, wind. Yeah, we've had not much wind today, actually. We've had sunshine and we've had rain. Oh, hi, Reggie. We have to keep the little ones happy, don't we? Well, we have to keep the big ones happy as well, don't we? Mm. Oh, dear. So is anybody crocheting or knitting? What you all doing? Yeah. Yeah, when I lived in the other house, I had a... Yeah, I know people... If I had a garden, Chris, I'd have somewhere to put the cardboard. And we used to burn it. We had well, it was actually the drum off an old washing machine or a tumble dryer on legs, and we used to use it to burn the cardboard in the garden. On the top, yeah. It's supposed to have short sleeves, according to the pattern, but of course, you know me, I had to put long sleeves in it. It was called something about the wedding top or something. It's a very old pattern, but it's actually on Etsy. I have got one with a short sleeve, but of course, you know me, my arms are cold. I'm cold, yeah. I was happy. Oh, good, we have to keep the little ones happy, don't we? Hey, dear. Sophie, you're turning into a train spotter. Every time I see a post from Sophie, she's like, I see another train. One of my friends, her son is train crazy. He's not a train spotter, he's a train videoer. He has a little YouTube channel. I don't think many people watch it, sadly, but he's only a kid. He doesn't take numbers down or anything, he just videos the trains, yeah. He was off school the other week and she had to go to Preston Station and sit there with a book and a crochet and a phone while he videoed all these trains. And he was waiting for two goods trains to go through, but sadly they'd both been cancelled, so he couldn't video the goods trains. Ah, dear. Oh, dear. Yeah, I had to go shopping today. I'm not particularly a fan of Aldi, but it's the closest one that is reasonably priced. I would prefer to go to one of the others, but I can't afford M&S. Well, not for everything. I don't mind some things from M&S. That's Marks and Spencer's if you're in America. But it's too expensive to do your weekly shopping there. So I had to go to Aldi, which is not my favourite shop, but hey-ho. The Asda's and things like that, and Morrison's and that, they're all too far away from me. I'm a bit out in the sticks here, to get to places like that. I need a friend with benefits. So when I say benefits, I mean one with a driver's license and a car. That's my idea of a friend with benefits these days, not the other kind of benefit. Somebody who still has their license and can drive at night. Not many of us about now. Not many of us about. That's the only time I miss a car, really. I miss a car. If I've got to go to the hospital, I miss a car. Because then you've got to book public, patient transport and all that performance. Or shopping. The big shopping once a month that I used to do once a month and then just do little bits in between. I miss a car for that. I used to, get 4 or 5 bagfuls of shopping, put them in the boot, and that did me mostly for the month, except for a bit of fresh stuff that you just get in between, don't you? But if you plan it right, you can, put meat and stuff in the freezer, can't you? Till, it's just bread and stuff. Well, you can keep bread in the freezer, but I used to be more organised than I am now. I mean, my freezer's full now, but it's full of all sorts. You always see the train. As long as you stop, you don't start crossing the track while the train's going through. It's amazing around here how many cars collide with the tram. Or people nearly get run over because they will walk in front of the tram, Excuse me, but the tram can't stop quickly. You can if you're walking in front of it. Or you're in a car and you're driving in front of it. I mean, it's not like the trams are a new invention, is it? They've been there forever. Now, the other day, somebody was going the wrong way up a one-way street, and then they nearly collided with the tram. And I'm thinking, you don't even deserve to have a license. Take it off you. Bye, Sue. We have a lot of numpties, as we call them around here, that don't seem to have any road sense. I think I've almost recovered from my tram fall. Not in front of the tram, on the tram. It was mostly the back of my neck. I think I had a bit of whiplash. I think it's gone better. It's not hurting so much. Yeah. Itchy coo. So anyway, maybe tomorrow, I might do a video. Maybe. It'll be like going over the same ground for the fourth time, won't it? You're doing it spontaneously the first time, showing everybody what you're doing. And by the time you get to the fourth time, it's like, here's my shawl, here's another shawl. You sort of lose that spontaneity. I suppose it's like that if you were a film star, they say, take 4, take 5. And you have to keep doing the same lines over and over again. Trying to act as though you have not done 3 videos before. Oh dear. Never mind. It's all fun, she said. And I need to plant some bulbs and some plants. My friend gave me 4 plants, but they're in them teeny little plant pots, so they need repotting. Something bigger. My gladioli, I know about that tall, but there's not a flower on any of them. I've got 7 of them. Is it 7 or 5? No, 5. I've got 5 of them, and there's not one flower on any of them yet. My little strawberry plants are only tiny, bless them. I think I've got about six strawberries growing, but they're tiny little things. So there might be just about enough for a bowl in a few weeks. My tomatoes have got loads and loads of flowers on them, but no sign of any tomatoes yet. And unfortunately, they're going very tall, which is why I need more support for them. And my poor little greenhouse is getting battered with the wind and blown about. And I think I told you before, it's got a very bad design that the water pools in the top of it like a full nappy. So I have to keep going out and getting rid of the water. And if my tomato plants get any taller, they're going to get crushed. Oh dear, I don't know what to do. How to correct it. Don't think I can. And I certainly can't afford to buy a better greenhouse. Oh, to have money. Oh, to be rich. I don't want to be rich. I just want to have enough to buy little bits that I need. Never mind if I might actually start getting paid, for YouTube. Not much, but only a bit, you know. I won't be one of these, oh, I've got 20,000 subscribers. I won't be one of them. My subscribers are beautifully loyal. I've still got the same number as I had 4 years ago. No more, no less. Just exactly the same number. So I can't say, oh, my channel is growing, because my channel is not growing. Even before, when I was doing 3 videos a week, my channel still didn't grow. I guess I don't appeal to many people. I might be appalling instead of appealing, but never mind. So when I start making videos, I'm going to be bombarding you saying, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, tell all your friends. I'm going to be a right my the boots when I make my video. I'll never get one of them things, you know, them people who get so many million views and they get a little thing from YouTube, you know, a little plaque to put on the wall. I'll never get one of them. Unless I make myself one. I'll draw one with crayons and stick it on the wall behind me. I'll say, aim high. This is what I hope to achieve one day. I doubt I can live that long, actually. Never mind, Never mind. I shall just carry on with crochet and hope for the best. Oh dear. I'm using something called Pricewise, Kinko Pricewise, in that pale grey and like a sort of a charcoal grey, really. I don't know when I bought it and I don't know why I bought it, but because grey actually isn't a colour that. Maybe I was going to make hats or something for guys with it, because I wouldn't have bought just one of each, you know, to do anything to wear, would I? You know, I don't know why I would have bought one of each. The pale grey I could have understood, because a lot of babies wear pale grey, don't they? But I don't know why I bought a dark grey. But still, it's coming in handy. So I'm actually using some of my own yarn for a change. But I bought it so long ago that I don't count the money, because once you've bought it and paid it, put it in your stash, you tend to forget how much you paid for it. I just don't understand why I bought it, but never mind. I can't remember what I ate for my tea yesterday, so I've got no chance of remembering what I bought some wool for. Yeah. I still haven't started my pink sweater for myself. My bright pink sweater. I might make another one of these, actually. I like the way it fits. Except I might do the neck not quite so, you know, sort of boat neck. I might make it more of a round neck if I make another one. See? But I have got my summer trousers on today. My flowery summer trousers. I was actually warm enough to wear them. So I wasn't warm enough to wear the sweater without a blouse thing underneath, because the wind would have whistled through the holes. Well, everybody's gone very quiet. Nobody's talking to me. Come on, somebody speak. Somebody say a word. It's like everything's frozen in time. You start thinking, what's that? Oh, I've only got 15 thumbs up, just as a hint. 32 people in the room and 15 thumbs up. Somebody's not got their thumb in the air. Just saying. You know, it's pitiful when I have to beg, isn't it, you know? Sad. What watching videos or something, or watching the telly, or what are you doing? Because nobody's talking. Oh dear. Feel like I'm doing a monologue. I'll sing and then you'll all go away. Come on, Nathan, say something. Are you going to post your zigzag hat and gloves? What do you do with all these hats and gloves, Sophie? You can't wear them. You've only, all. You've only got one head. Do you give them away as presents or something? What do you do with them all? Or do you have them in a big row with a load of mannequin heads, you know? Yeah, I made this ages ago. In fact, it's gone a bit bobbly on the arms, but, you know. Yeah, I made it. It's actually a bit big for me because I made it when I was a bit bigger. It's all right at the top. It's just on where the bottom bit is. It flares out a bit. It's got sort of like a lacier edge on the bottom of it. Oops. Kind of lacy edge that flares out. So it's a bit baggy at the bottom, but never mind. It's like me baggy at the bottom. Yeah, I've got an orange one, but it's... Yeah, I spoke to Sue about half an hour before I came on here. She's doing very well. And I said to her, when are you coming down to see me? I said, everybody keeps asking about you. The necklace is wood. It's wooden circles that somebody's made and, I presume, painted. I bought it from one of these craft places. So somebody must have made it, I think. Yeah, so Sue's doing very well. I keep trying to get her to come down. It's a long way, though. She's in Scotland, you know. But she can stay overnight. She can bring the dogs because I don't have the dogs here now. So, you know, she can bring her 2 dogs. She's got 2 Jack Russells that she got from... It wasn't Romania. She got them from somewhere, but it weren't Romania. Somewhere abroad. Jackson Bruno. Little girl, little boy, brother and sister. But she said she's been in the garden a lot, so... She bought this place in Scotland with a huge garden. Humongous garden. So she's got like loads of vegetables and plants and stuff in it. So she's always got stuff to do. I think she's got a greenhouse as well. I'd like a proper greenhouse and it wouldn't blow away, would it? I've only got one of them cheap plastic things, you know, that keeps ripping in the wind. My poor little tomatoes. And they're not, I don't want to leave them out because I still think it's not quite the weather for them to be out, you know, on their own. Because there's no tomatoes on them yet, just flowers. I mean, maybe they might be all right, you know, without the plastic greenhouse over them. But I don't want them getting drenched, you know, because they're in one of those grow bags and, you know, I don't want them being floating away in a grow bag. Oops. I mean, the last time I grew tomatoes, my little greenhouse thing was in a more sheltered spot. I had it next to the hedge when I lived in Prestwich, yeah. It was like sheltered from all the wind and that. But here it's being buffeted. But there was nowhere for me to put it really because I've got nowhere to tie things. Oh, your hat and gloves are for a girl at work. Ooh. Yeah, I keep making these. As I say, I'm trying to use my bits up, and as fast as I use my bits up, somebody gives me some more. But I'm just doing a granny stitch one because I think it's more masculine, isn't it? I mean, I don't mind if the guys want to wear pink. I don't mind. But I think a pink virus shawl is more for a lady, really. Or am I just being sexist saying that? Yeah. Perhaps the guys would like one in pink, I don't know. Somebody was telling me the other day that the husband had bought himself a pink shirt. Well, my ex-husband used to wear a pink shirt, yeah. It was all the rage one time, I think it was the 70s. It was all pastel shades. Oh, I've got some of Sheila's coasters, actually. I bought them a long time ago. Oh, listen, black guys look good in most things. They can wear hats like nobody can. Oh. When I lived in Manchester, there was a lot of like Rasta and all these. And they can put tea causes on their head and look fantastic, can't they? They just have, I don't know what there is. They can just wear a hat, any kind of hat, and they look good. They could put a tea cozy on, can't they? Anything. Hey, Dottie. Tra-la. They're not that tall yet, Dottie. They're about, they're not 3 foot yet. They haven't got to the top of my greenhouse yet. If they get that far up to the top of the greenhouse, then I'll take the top out, yeah. I don't think they're going to do much with tomatoes, to be quite truthful, but I just fancied to grow them. My little lettuces are growing. Only little, but they're growing. I'm just growing them for something to do and to make my backyard, my courtyard, look a bit more fancy, I just like looking out with a bit of colour. My friend on Thursday, she gave me 4 little plants. They're in them teeny little plant pots, One looks like a bit like an ivy, actually. She said, I don't know what they are, but they're pretty. I said, yeah, okay, I don't mind. I'll plant them. I'll put them in bigger pots, yeah. I've no idea why any of them are. In fact, a lot of them have still got labels stuck to them that I've written out because I didn't know what they were, So I've just put stickers in. Some of the bulbs have grown, some haven't. Some of the seeds have grown, but most of them didn't. I've still got a lot of seeds left, so I might have another go. Might have another do. I need a few more plant pots, though. It's all money, isn't it? And my tree at the front door's sadly on its way out. It's dying. Oh. No, they're not even 3 foot yet, Dottie, my tomatoes. About 2.5 feet at the minute. I've got them on a cane, tied to a cane, but they're a bit flopsy. Yeah, my bulbs are coming up. About that high, my bulbs growing upwards. I don't know what half of them are. But I've still got loads of them left to plant, but plant pots is a bit scarce. I should have got them big plant pots my mate did. They were like giant buckets she fetched out. I said to her, I thought you weren't buying any more. Yeah. I did get some off Home Bargains. I mean, I had them delivered from Home Bargains. Trouble is with getting deliveries is they don't always tell you when they're coming. I don't have a porch anymore for them, so they get left at the front door if I'm not in, which is quite often. Mm. The good news is my bay window didn't leak. In all the rain, it didn't leak. So it must have to be when the window's in a certain direction and torrential rain. That's when the bay window must leak. Yeah. Yeah, I like having a bit. There's quite a bit of colour out there now. I mean, before it was depressing. But next door's garden, I can see I've got a little gap in my hedge. I've got a hedge, a little gap in my fence where I can see next door's garden. He's got roses and oh, it looks so lovely. I just wish the guy who had this house before me hadn't ripped up all the lawn and everything and put paving stones in. When I win the lottery, of course, I'll get a landscape gardener in and get it all done. Got to do a lot, aren't I? Might be easy just to move with the lottery. Just move to one with the garden, yeah. Oh, hello, it's flashing again. I was watching somebody else's video the other day and she kept saying, the video keeps flashing. Why does it keep flashing? I thought, well, I'm glad it's not just me. She was going around turning lights off and that. I think she thought it was the fluorescent tube that was flashing. Mm. But it wasn't. When I get some more shawls done, Val, I shall. Oh, hello. I shall let you know, or I'll let Sue know, because I don't think Sue knows where I live now, because she collected the last shawls from the other house. Who's sending me messages? Oh, it's where I used to live before. Somebody's lost their cat. Well, not lost him, misplaced him. He's a cat called Greg. It's on the street where I used to live. It just seems funny when somebody says, has anybody seen Greg? What tree is it? I don't know. I have got the paper for it. It's a Canadian tree, but it's dying. It's had its day. Oh, God knows. Peaceful protesting in Hollywood. I don't know what that's all about. Shan's changed her profile picture. Stitch by Mrs. D's got a video up. So has Crochet Rocks. Could you live in this tiny house? Probably not. Yeah, no, I keep trying to get everybody to talk, Dottie, but they're all busy doing something. Hi, Munchkin. They're all busy. They're knackered from knitting in public today. Yeah. I half watched Sheila and then I realised what time it was and I had to come and do my own video. So I'll have to go back to watch the other half of Sheila. Manny, I've probably forgotten what she said in the first half, so I'll have to start it again from the beginning. Hi, Helen. Anybody else I've missed? If I look down sometimes, I miss them when somebody comes in. And then it looks like I'm ignoring them. But I don't often see them. Come come on, somebody say something. What you all making anyway? What you all making? Did you see the video I put on our page? You know, Claire, that used to be Bob Wilson 123. She bought a granny square in her a shop somewhere. It was in a package, all packaged up. And she thought it was cotton. But when she got it out, it was done in acrylic. And it was $5 something or other, yeah. Oh, I know. You can't buy anything that comes in England these days, Val. Yeah. I'd make granny squares in acrylic and stick them in a bag and sell them all for $5. It'd be great, that, wouldn't it? Except I don't think anybody'd be daft enough to buy them. Hey. Because everything comes from China, I think, these days. I don't think anybody makes anything that's not in China. Yeah, Stitched by Mrs. D. Sadly, I cannot afford any of her bags, but I don't use that many project bags, to be honest with you, because I don't have that many projects. And what I'm using today is one of the free, organza bags that you get from Wool Warehouse. That's what I'm using today. But I don't need a lot. I've got about 5 empty ones, actually, which I've bought over periods of time, but there's nothing in any of them because at the moment I've got 2 things on the go. I've got the green cardigan for myself that I've stopped because I've been doing these shawls, and this shawl, and that's all I have on the hook. No, we don't seem to manufacture anything these days. Yeah, that crochet granny square, $5. I mean, and she said it was in a funny, awful acrylic-y stuff, yeah. Yeah, where is Taiwan? Is Taiwan in China? I'm terrible at geography. Somebody will correct me. I could send you one of these if it wasn't for the postage. It's not the postage, it's all the other bits, isn't it? I mean, no offence, but Trump seems to be slapping import duty and everything on anything that's not made in the US, isn't he now? So you dread to think if you sent anybody anything through the post, whether anybody would actually, if you sent somebody a gift, they might have to pay when they get to the other end, yeah? Which, defeats the object of you sending somebody a gift, doesn't it? Yeah, I finish things. I can't be doing with loads of things on the go. I mean, I don't know how Sheila keeps track of all those cardigans. She has back of this and the front of that and the sleeve of another. I'd forget where I was up to. If I start something, I've got to finish it, apart from that green cardigan, which I've put down as I started these. I'll get round to it. I'll finish it. But that's the only thing I've got on the go. I've done the back and most of one front, I think. But it's in that very fine stuff and fine hook, yeah. I was laughing at Passionate Kelsey. She was going through these millions of works in progress she had, deciding whether to finish them or frog them. And one of them, she was making this dress and she goes, "Oh, but it's so thin. The yarn's so thin and the hook's so small." And it turned out it was double knitting on a 4mm hook. And I'm like, no, that's not thin. That's not small. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could use cushion covers. Oh, yeah, that's an idea, Chris. You can get a cushion cover from the charity shop and use it for a work in progress. As I say, I've got a lot of these. When I used to buy a lot from Wool Warehouse, I've got quite a few of these organza bags. Yeah. I used to call them organdy, and Kelly used to fall about laughing. She used to say, it's not organdy. Hi, Jean. I don't know why I always used to call it organdy instead of organza. It's probably because of my mum. When I used to do ballet when I was a little kid, they used to use a lot of like net and organza. You know, when you were making the little tutus and things. Not that my mother ever made a tutu in her life, but you know, she wasn't very gifted with the sewing department. And my aunt was a tailoress, but she would never make them. So we always had to get this lady that used to do all the stuff for the ballet. I always remember she lived in a block of houses. They were called the Pitses. Pitses, the Pitses. And I don't know why. I always thought when I was a little girl it was called the Pixies, but it wasn't. It was the Pitses. No, I mean, I always used to call it organdy, but they call it organza now, don't they? Not that I'm a sewer by any stretch of the imagination. I can repair stuff and sew seams up, you know, when they've torn and things like that. I used to make myself dresses, but it was when, you know, if you watch Stitch by Mrs. D, the dresses that she's been making for her daughter, you know, the ones that are like 60s style, I used to make those because they are dead easy to make. But today's clothes are a lot more, you know, structured, a lot more bits to them. And the material, you know, the fabric is so expensive these days that unless you're making something really, really special, it's, you know, it's so expensive. I used to make my own clothes because it was cheaper, which it was back in the 60s. But you can't say that anymore because fabric's so expensive. When I lived in Prestwich down in Cheetham Hill, there used to be some Indian fabric shops. Oh gosh, the fabric there. I mean, it's too ornate for everyday wear. You know, a lot of it had glamour and glitz and embroidery on them and everything. Oh, but the fabric was so lovely. You know, it's no wonder they look fantastic when they're dressed up, you know, for a wedding and special occasions because the fabrics are just so beautiful. But you couldn't make a dress and go shopping in it, you know, they were too ornate for that, yeah. But I used to love looking in the window, you know, just to see what they were like. I wish I had the patience to do patchwork, but I don't. I just don't. And all this slow stitching, you know, I'm just too impatient. You just watch me. I haven't watched Mrs. D tonight. I watched her yesterday, but not tonight. I spent today. I have a beautiful black fleece jacket, the one that Trixie chewed the zip. So I had the zip put in. And when I got it back, it was absolutely covered in hair. And to be fair, it looked like mine. Yeah. And I washed it and it's still full of hair. So I had to get this brush thing. I spent about an hour today trying to get all the hair off it. So I think I've got most of it off now. It's looking halfway decent. I couldn't have worn it. I couldn't have gone out like that. Just full of hair. Some of it was Trixie's hair because she'd slept on it and that's why she chewed the zip. But most of it was mine because it was long blonde hair when I had long blonde hair. It was a while since she chewed the zip. Anyway, maybe I can wear it again now. I've de-haired it. Oh, I know the sari. Oh, the saris are beautiful, aren't they? My niece has a sari. She is a head teacher, and the school that she teaches at is very, very multicultural. And there's so many like Pakistani, Indian children there that when they have do's and stuff like that, she had a sari made, and all the teachers wore saris on this particular day. So she has actually got a sari somewhere. Not that she wears it. She only had it made for that special day. I like those, the tops and the trousers, like, for casual wear in the house. Organdy is cotton. Oh, and organza is silk. Oh, yeah, no, I didn't know that. So there is such a thing as organdy. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Kelly, for laughing at me. Man, she's a lot younger than me. She probably never heard of organdy. Yeah, I like the dress that, Mrs. D's just made for her daughter. It just reminds me of like things like that Jackie Kennedy used to wear. She used to wear very sort of basic sheath dresses, yeah. But I don't wear short dresses anymore now, so haven't got the legs for it now. And I'd look a bit daft wearing leggings, in the summer. Not that I'd wear a mini dress, but even just past the knees, it's. The only kind of dresses I cannot wear are the ones that come, they stop halfway between your knees and your ankles. What do they call them? Like ballerina length? Because I can't wear high heels, they look dreadful with flat shoes. I bought one accidentally not long ago. I just gave it away. It just doesn't. It just don't look right. You're going to teach yourself to make a dress. Yeah, because fabric's so expensive if you make a mess, isn't it? Yeah, well, it would be. I'm talking about organdy when I was a little girl. I'd probably be about 7 or 8 when I used to do ballet. I think I did ballet up to the age of about 12, I think. No, I'm not losing any more weight, sadly. Sadly, it seems to have plateaued. I've not put any on, but I haven't lost any. So I'm just the same. So Manjaro doesn't work on me. It's doing wonders for my blood sugar, though. But I'm not dropping weight, no. I think I lost 4.5 stone. And then it just stopped, yeah. I do think that everybody's got a sort of weight, what you're meant to be. And you tend to hit it and then you don't go any further unless you really starve yourself, yeah. I try to eat healthy, but I am very guilty of being naughty. In fact, I'm looking at a tiny little packet of Maltesers here that I've saved in for a later. It's only a little packet, only tiny, not a big one. I am trying to limit myself to like 1 chocolate bar a week or something like that. You know, I can't, I don't think I can ever eat what other people would call normally. You know, I have to watch myself for eating chips and potatoes and definitely eating lots of bread. I try to eat no more than 2 slices of bread a day, because it's not on the weight factor, it's the fact that it's the carbohydrates, you know, with being diabetic. It's just, you know, you've got these hidden sugars in everything, which is a bit nasty, really. Why does food have to have hidden sugars? A lot of people think you're diabetic because you eat loads and loads of sweets and chocolates and stuff, and it's got nothing to do with that, really. As you get older, your pancreas stops working anyway. It breaks down a bit. So that means you have to be more careful with your potatoes, rice, pasta, stuff like that. I've got dry mouth now. That's because I've took my painkillers. Well, according to that BMI chart, I should be about 8 stone something. I've not been 8 stone something since I was a teenager. Well, actually, no, since I got married. I was 8 stone something when I got married. And I can't blame my son, because after I'd had him, I still went back to being 8 stone something. I think as you get older, you either go very, very thin or you put weight on. And with me, I put weight on. Yeah. I think it's because we're not active. You know, you're not running around like you were when you were younger. When you were younger, you could eat a big dinner and then you go to work. I mean, like I've always worked in a shop, and I was up and down ladders, up and down the stairs, dragging things around. Always active, used to walk everywhere, and, you know, but now, of course, you can't do anything. Yeah, that's why I've only bought a small packet munchkin. I don't trust myself with a big box of Maltesers. Yeah. Yeah, Revels are nice as well, aren't they? And I like chocolate buttons. I know they're for kids, but I still like chocolate buttons. I'll have to get some water. My mouth is so dry. It's those painkillers I've just taken. I've got some bottled water in the fridge, I think. Oh. Oh. My mushrooms nearly fell out the fridge. Why does he have everything in plastic? I can't get the bottle out of plastic. Oh, for goodness sake. I nearly had mushrooms all over the floor then. Right, I need to get my gizmo to open the can. Best thing ever I ever bought. I'm taking bottle lids off, because I haven't got the grip I once had. Hey, oh, and the merry will be. My kitchen floor needs a scrubber tea. I'm very bad at cleaning the kitchen floor. It's one of my dreaded jobs. Right, I've got the top off now. Oh, it definitely does slow down, Jean, yeah. I think my metabolism stopped. Oh, that's nice. It's only sparkly water. It's only cheapy, oldie stuff. I don't know why. The people are talking now, Linda, but they weren't talking before. Oh, that's better. I love sparkly water. I pretend it's wine. You know, when people have sparkling wine with their dinner, I have water and I pretend it's wine. Sometimes put it in a wine glass, make it look fancy. But I wouldn't pay the price of like Perrier water and stuff like that. That's just being snobby, isn't it? I think. This is just cheap ones from Aldi. I don't like donuts. I don't know why. Everybody else likes take me to the gym. Oh, you couldn't say anything worse to me, Sophie. I've never been a gym bunny. Not even when I was fit. I don't know why I don't like gyms. It's like, I used to like athletics when I was young. I used to like running, and why have I gone all sort of sideways? Oh, no, you don't want to see that mess, do you? Put you there. Now, I used to like athletics, running and relay and long jump and high jump and all that stuff when I was young, but never the gym. I don't know why. It's like treadmill, like the road to nowhere, isn't it? Oh, next door. Have a nosy, see who it was. Certainly wasn't anybody to my front door. Well, I don't think it was anyway. I'm on the road to nowhere. Come on inside. I have to have a nosy, see who's gone past my front door. It's next door. Out in her dressing gown. Where's she gone? Where did she go? She went to the car. Looked in the car. And then walked back again and went in the house. In her nightie. And then she's just shut the front door. Unless she thought she'd left something in the car and she'd gone to check. She just walked up to the car, looked in the window, walked back again. Weird. Oh, dear. No, I've not had a Milky Bar with crunchy bits either, Linda. Yeah, well, mine goes off because my door camera thing faces next door. Our doors are on the side, so they're facing each other. So when they walk out of their house, my doorbell tinkles. So I knew it wasn't me because nobody's knocked on my door and I wasn't expecting anybody. But I always have a look because, the garage is like up that end. So people would walk past my camera, to go to the back gate the back gate's locked, and so is the garage, but I don't know what she was doing. She's in a nightie anyway. What she was doing walking to the car and having a look through the windscreen, I don't know. I say all I can think of, she maybe thought she'd left her handbag in there or something. I don't like the smell of donuts. When you go past a fairground and they always have donuts, don't they? That sickly smell, because they used to make them, didn't they? There was always a machine where you could see them going down and going through all this oil. Oh, and the smell of it used to knock me sick. I think that's why I don't like donuts. It's not the taste, I think it's the smell of when they were cooking them. But maybe that was just Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I always used to think the oil looked as though it needed changing, you know. So that oil has been there a long time with a lot of donuts going through it. A donut? Oh, no. Oh, what, a crunchy bit? Yeah, I thought you meant a donut then. Just got to tell Linda, don't bring me a donut. Hey, Kiwi. Well, it's not Kiwi, but you know what I mean. It's like calling you by your parrot's name. Not parrot, whatever it is. No, I just don't like the smell of the oil. You know, you like the smell of it, do you? I don't. It always smells sickly to me. Like I say, I very rare have donuts. Very, very rare. The only ones I ever used to eat were the custard ones. I don't like the dough that they're made with. It's sort of like weird, isn't it? I've got a hair on the end of my finger. Oh, fast food. Oh, dear, no. When you used to come out of the cinemas in the old days, and there was an old chappie outside with a hot dog cart, wasn't there? They used to smell revolting. I don't like hot dogs anyway. No, I'm not being awful to Blackpool Pleasure Beach because I'm talking about 40 years ago. I'm not talking about now. Let's just clear that up. But it always used to look as though they hadn't changed the oil in forever. As I say, I haven't been to Blackpool Pleasure Beach in 40 years. Now they charge you just to go in. You can't even go and have a look round now. Oh, you're Adrian. Yeah, Kiwi is the parrot. I realised that. But I can never remember your name. Sorry about that. I know Kiwi's the parrot. I asked you that once many, many moons ago. I thought you were maybe from New Zealand or something. You know, you were a Kiwi. My favourite smell is tarmac, bitumen, or whatever you want to call it. I love the smell. I'm strange like that. Hot dogs, I don't know what they're made of, but they taste vile, don't they? What are you worrying about? You can't wait for autumn. Oh no, I'm waiting for some summer. Tarmac is, oh, fantastic, isn't it? My ex-boyfriend used to drive a tarmac wagon. Oh, God, I used to love it. I used to sit in the wagon going, they always taste like India rubber, don't they? Hot dogs to me. And they look like they're full of artificial colouring. I don't know what they are. I've just never liked hot dogs. When you see them in the jar, in the brine or whatever it is, I'm thinking, oh, please, no. I just don't like hot dogs at all. It's like black pudding. I mean, if you saw black pudding being made, you'd never eat it. My dad used to make them because he was a butcher, you know. But he never ate them. He would never eat them. Oh, for goodness sake. Oof. No, it's perfume that gives me an instant headache. Hot dogs in a jar, yeah. In England, they sell hot dog sausages like in a jar, you know. You buy them like that. I suppose then you have to warm up some way or another. Oh, she's found her cat. She's found Greg. Somebody said, he's just here. He's at the top of Sunny Drive. So she's put, I've got him, thank you. Oh, sausages. I mean, my dad would never let me buy mince. He used to say, get shoulder steak and tell them to mince it. He said, don't buy mince. Because he was a butcher. He said, don't buy mince. Yeah, yeah, they sell them that way. How do you sell hot dogs in America? You know, the ones you buy in a supermarket. How do you... I mean, they do have them now in them shrink wrap packets, I think. But ages ago, they used to be in a big jar with like brine or something. Does anybody else know what I mean? But I think now they sell them in they're like shrink wrapped and stuff. Yeah. Highland Hill Haggis Vindaloo. No. My ex next door neighbour, well, bless her soul, she just died now. But she used to bring me a haggis back because she was Scottish. But I never really cared for it, to be honest. Yeah, I think they do them in shrink wrap now, Adrian, but I think they used to be in a jar years ago. I love that, Linda, your sin-in-law. I know it's a typo, but it just struck me as being funny. Oh, dear. Yeah, my dad used to work at the slaughterhouse at times, and I hated it. My brother actually was vegetarian for quite a while because he hated my dad coming home smelling of meat. Yeah. My mum used to make me take my dad his lunch, and I wouldn't go. I used to stand at the end of I wouldn't go near the slaughterhouse. I'd stand at the end of the gate and shout, John. Because if I'd shouted Daddy, then they wouldn't have known, would they? I used to shout, John. And somebody would say, your dad's over there, come in, love. And I said, no, I'm not coming in. I said, I've got his dinner, I've got his lunch. Well, that's in case anybody's greedy and wants 2 hot dogs in one bun. They won't get married. All right. Well, I wouldn't get married again. Unless he was a 90-year-old billionaire with no family. Then I might consider him. I don't want a toy boy. Not that I can get one. Or son-in-law. I used to go on Ravelry, and I used to go into the bits where you talk to each other. And it was always SIL and DIL, and I used to wonder what on earth it was. And it meant son-in-law and daughter-in-law. I thought, oh, abbreviations, I don't know what they are. Pickled eggs. Oh, I've never eaten a pickled egg. I don't think I'd fancy one of them. Oh, the 90 billionaire's yours, yeah. I haven't got the bait to catch anybody nowadays, yeah. The bait's gone off. I might have got myself a billionaire when I was about 40, but, not now. Yeah, one foot in the grave, yeah, one on the banana skin. They've got to have no relatives, though, to claim the billions, yeah. I might not have much time left, but I want to make the most of it. I'd like to live a little before I die. Spend a little money and like the ABBA song, isn't it? If I had a little money, it's a rich man's world, yeah. I'd like to spend my last days being spoiled. Oh dear. I'm like Eartha Kitt, you know, just an old-fashioned girl. She says she wants something. She have them set in diamonds by a man from Tiffany. I'm not one for diamonds. I'm not one for jewellery. But I would like to be pampered, you know, with a round-the-world trip on a luxury yacht or a cruise or something like that, you know. I'm not one for expensive handbags and stuff like that. So I would like to see the world before I die. Oh, you forgot to put your lottery on. Well, you won't be a millionaire tonight then. Well, nobody be after my money, Dotty, because I ain't got any. I keep spending what little bit I got. But it's there to spend, isn't it, you know. If my family are expecting an inheritance when I've gone, they're going to be very sadly disappointed. Yeah. Oh dear. Sounds like he's Rastafarian. Oh, why? Give me a man after midnight. I wouldn't know what to do with one. I wouldn't know what to do with a man after midnight. Once upon a time, I would have done. I've got property, yes, but it's already promised, if you know what I mean. It'll go to my son. So if anybody wants to marry me for my bungalow, they're very sadly mistaken, yeah. You've just checked you wouldn't own anyway. No, my ex-boyfriend used to work with a guy who was a Rastafarian, and he had about 12 kids with about 8 different women. And I'm like, oh my God. You know, don't you know? Well, he was quite proud of it. And probably never maintained any of them. No, I think that's another reason why I wouldn't have wanted to get married again, because they always come with baggage, don't they? Ex-wives and kids and stuff like that. Oh, God, it's this Israeli-Iran thing. I try not to watch because it's just too upsetting, isn't it? I don't know anything about it, so I don't know anything about which side's which or who did who to what and how, but you know, when you don't know anything about it, you don't take sides, do you? Because I don't know anything about it, so I'm not saying which one's which, who did who to what. You've been a widow for a year and a half. Oh dear. Does that mean you can claim any pension? Yeah, I won't check my lottery until tomorrow because I like to dream that I've won it until I know I haven't. I don't. I used to sit there. Do you remember when it used to come on the telly? And we all used to sit there watching those little ping pong balls drop down, didn't we? I think it used to be Terry Wogan who did it. Who did it someday? It used to be on about 9 o'clock, didn't it, on the telly? No, I just don't want to take sides in anything because I don't know enough about anything. So I can't say, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, oh, it's the other. Yeah, I had a boyfriend like that. I don't think he's still around. I knew he liked marijuana, but I didn't know he was into all the other stuff as well. When I found that out, he was an ex-boyfriend, yeah. I don't mind people having an odd smoke of weed every now and again, but not when they hit the hard stuff. I don't know where he is now. He's probably in the gutter somewhere because he'd lost his job through that. Dale Winton did it, yeah. I thought he did that supermarket sweep. Dale Winton. Oh, man, he was more suntanned than Trump, wasn't he? Dale Winton. He always used to look permanently orange. Yes, no age, is it? But when they abuse drugs and stuff, that's what happens. I mean, I take prescription drugs and I don't like taking them, but I have to take them. But I certainly wouldn't take anything just for the heck of it, you know. I mean, people did say, you know, that like weed, marijuana, cannabis, whatever you want to call it, would help, you know, with my back pain. But I've never been a smoker. So my son said, oh, you'd make little brownies with it and eat it. And I thought, oh. I said, no. I said, until it's legal, I won't bother. He did the lottery programme as well as Supermarket Sweep, did he? I don't know why I always thought it was Terry Wogan. But he did a lot of things, did he, Terry Wogan? So that's probably why I thought it was him. Yeah, there's so many people just recently, you know, like, I won't say big celebrities, minor celebrities, aren't they, that have died with overdoses. I mean, that alone would put me off, you know, if I knew that people were dying all around me through taking the drug that I was taking. I think, hang on a minute, you know. It's these young kids that die because they're copying some influencer on TikTok. And I'm like, oh, God. You know, these influencers should be held responsible, you know, for teaching kids to do stupid things. Hello, Kerry. Oh, is it Terry Wogan? I thought it might have been him, but maybe I was wrong. I'm not often right, Dottie, so I stand corrected half of the time, yeah. You know, the old brain box is not what it used to be, is it? You know, you can dredge up things from the past and swear blind you think they were right, and then you think, no, that weren't right, yeah. I think my brain's got a short circuit somewhere, you know, little bits of information come to the front now and again. But mostly it fades to the back, yeah. I just put it down to the fact my brain's full. I can remember stuff from the past, but my brain's too full to remember yesterday. You know, we've all done the going in the kitchen and forgetting what you've gone in for, you know. Or going shopping and forgetting the main thing that you went for. You know, if you wanted bread or you wanted milk, you come home with everything, but then you think, oh, hang on a minute, I went for some bread. How come? I have to write myself a list. Dreadful. Dreadful I am these days. Amigurumi goblins. Well, I can't do them. Can't do amigurumi. It's my tension's too rubbish. I can't do anything tight enough. You know, the stuffing pokes through. I have to make a note and then I'll lose my note. I start off in the supermarket. By the time I've gone halfway around, I've lost my note. But sometimes the mere act of writing it down on a note means you get it in your memory. If you think, oh, I remember that, you don't, do you? You know, but once you've written it down. I'm working on I've been doing shawls for an old people's home. So I'm working on a shawl. This is my 8th of this lot, but it's my 14th all in all. I started off using my oddments, and then people gave me more oddments. So now I'm doing more shawls. I can't do amigurumis. Sometimes I wish I could, and I certainly can't do faces. They look grotesque when I do anything. They would scare a child to death, you know. I just cannot do a face. I made some teddies for some kids at the library the other week. I didn't do too bad with the teddy faces. They still didn't look very welcoming, but they didn't look that bad, actually. Usually mine look like Frankenstein's monster. Oh, especially if I'm doing dolls. Oh, I can do the doll all right, but doing its face. I bought a book. It's a lovely book. It's called The Gnomes of... Everybody's making them, I think. Jeanette from Crafty Clegs has made them, and then Ellie, she's made them, and somebody else. They're like little gnome things, and they're only about that big, and they're done in fingering weight, you know, in the sock yarn, in a circle, but they don't have a face. They've got a nose and they've got a beard, but they don't have a face. So I keep thinking, I'm going to make one of them, and I also want to make an emotional support chicken. But I'm too busy doing these shawls at the minute. Yeah. It's when you get halfway up and you can't remember if you were going upstairs or downstairs, Sophie. You're like, am I going up or am I going down? Oh, dear. Oh, yeah, the Amish, they don't have faces, do they, on their dolls? Yeah. That would creep me out. The girl at the library, she makes those Cinderella dolls. You know, you tip them upside down and tip them the other way. One way they're Cinderella, and then when you turn them over, she's going to the ball. But she'd made one the other day and it didn't have a face on it yet. And I went, oh, I said, put his face on. It looks creepy. She said, oh, no, I want to put his hair on first and then I'll put his face on. Oh. I don't know what she does with them all, whether don't think she sells them, but she's made quite a few now. I think it's Jean Greenhouse pattern. I think they call it the topsy-turvy doll or something. It's like 2 dolls in one, yeah. Yeah, but that the gnomes of something it's called. Oh, I can't think what it's called. If you follow Jeanette, Crafty Clegs, she's made one. But Ellie's made one for two, I think, for her son. She made a little one and a bigger one. I'd have to do mine on 4 needles because, you know, I can't knit on a circular, on a worm. Can't knit on worms. So I want to knit a gnome or 2, and I want to knit the emotional support chicken. Well, crochet it, because I bought a crochet pattern. But I keep thinking, I'll do one more shawl. And then the girls at Knit Club said, because they like what I'm doing and the reason why I'm doing it. They keep giving me their oddments. Yeah, I just want to. There's a knitted pattern which I think Linda bought, and I bought the crochet pattern. I need to make it because the patterns aren't cheap, so I've wasted the money if I don't make one. I think there's a YouTube video, but I don't know whether they tell you exactly how to do it or not. Yeah. Oh, gonks. I used to have a gonk when I was about 17. And mine it was tartan with them tartan caps on. I loved my gonk. It was all the rage back then. God, we're talking what? So, must be 60 odd years ago when I had a gonk. Because I was a teenager. I can still see it now. It had all this hair coming out and this tartan beret thing on, a cap thing. Yeah, the girl at the library, she would have made about 6 of them now. Them topsy-turvy dolls, yeah. She always makes toys. She doesn't make anything, bigger, like a cardigan or anything. I'm the opposite, really. I tend to make things to wear, which is why I've got too many. I've got 2 railfuls of sweaters in my bedroom. It's very untidy in my bedroom. That's why you will never, ever see a video of a house tour. You might get a garage tour one day if I ever get anybody to help me to sort it. My friend's son and her helped put shells together for me, and I put all the wool on the shells, but they're just higgledy-piggledy. I've got like double knitting mixed in with chunky mixed in with, and it just wants sorting. Yeah, you do that, Jean, yeah. We like to see pictures. I like to see things going on there. It keeps the page going, doesn't it? If nobody puts anything on there, it goes a bit dormant, doesn't it? I put little snippets of things. If I see somebody's YouTube, not my own, if I see somebody's YouTube, I think might be interesting, I put that on. You're making a turquoise cotton top. Ooh. Oh, some of the dolls, they're fantastic, aren't you? Do you remember those little Wednesday dolls, what they called? They were black and white. And was it called Wednesday or Thursday? No, Thursday, wasn't it? Thursday dolls. Oh, yeah, I've seen some patterns where there's a doll and it's got all these clothes and everything, beautifully crocheted. And I'm like, oh, I'll make the clothes probably, but the doll. But my friend made one of those. I think it was Thursday doll. She said it was so fiddling. I think they're black and white, aren't they? She said she'd never do another one. I envy people who've got the knack. Some people are just. I crochet and knit, but I'm quite basic when you think about it. I'll never be one of these. I mean, some of these, like European girls, the Russian girls, Czechoslovakia, whatever it is, girls, their crocheting is out of this world, isn't it? It's so fine and so intricate. I used to follow a lady. In fact, she hasn't posted any videos forever, ever and a day. But she used to do the most fantastic, fine, crochet garments and that. And I used to think, how does she do that? And so neat. My attention can get all over the place. I'm not the best. I mean, I do crochet, but like I say, I'm not the best crocheter. And I hold my hand up, I'm not. It's some people have got beautiful tension, haven't they? And beautiful. ideas. It's usually Eastern European kind of ladies that have this. They do everything in that fine crochet cotton, don't they? And beautiful things. And we've all been to places where they have, tablecloths and things on the market for sale, all done in beautiful circles and that. I remember my late sister-in-law. I'm not chatty, I've just got an itchy head. My late sister-in-law, she had this huge, huge dining table, and somebody made her a tablecloth all in the circles, in very fine crochet cotton. And she was grumbling to me about what she'd paid for it. And I said to her, I wouldn't have even attempted it, I said, for that price. I said, she spent that kind of money on the cotton. I said, she's probably crocheted it for nothing near enough. And she was grumbling how much it had cost her, this tablecloth. And the table was huge. It was one of those, like a banquet table. And I said, tell you what, I said, I'd buy it from you for that price. I said, I could resell it, I said, for about 3 times the price. Yeah, everybody has to post things in the group, yeah. What are you making? What are you doing? Because we all like to nosy. Because when I'm on here on a Saturday, you can only see what I'm doing. Because it's not set up like that anybody else can show anything. And they don't like links in the chat thing. They really don't like links for some reason. YouTube doesn't like links. So you have to put things into the groups page. And if you're not a member of the groups page, if you ask me, I'll make you a member. The only reason I don't make it public is I don't want, sorry if anybody gets offended, but riffraff, you know what I mean? Because you get people in there that are rude or whatever, and we don't want them, do we? I want to stay a happy little bunch like we all are, Because once you start just opening it up and letting anybody post things, you get all kinds of totally irrelevant things, that have nothing to do with crocheting or knitting. I'm not saying anything that rude, but, not appropriate, let's just say. As long as it's vaguely related to knitting and crocheting, we don't mind if you put a picture of your dog or your cat, now and again, but, mostly. Because I haven't taken any photographs of all these shawls, because I'd just be bombarded. 8 pictures, wouldn't it? 8 pictures of shawls. I mean, would you be all interested in seeing 8 shawls in a row, I will do them, though, I do them anyway to keep a memento, whatever you call it, a memory for myself of what I've done. Because once you've done them, given them away, you've forgotten, haven't you? I like to keep a sort of record just for myself. I mean, I follow one lady, she's actually in Israel. She's one lady. She's the lady who designed that multicolored shawl I crochet. And she has a book, and she puts a picture of what she's done. She puts the label of the wool she's used and little comments, notes. And I'm thinking, oh, and she dedicated. I couldn't be that dedicated. Well, she's probably got a good printer that she can, take photos of. Yeah, she puts a little piece of the wool, pictures of what she's done, writes all the pattern that she's used and everything. And I'm like, oh, I couldn't be that good. I keep getting, every year I have this, get myself a notebook. I'm going to write down exactly what I've made, even if there's no pictures. Write down exactly what I've made. Do I do it? No. I used to do it when I did machine knitting, because I would write down the wool, what size it was and how many stitches I'd done, how many rows I'd done, so that I could replicate it, without having to count and measure and stuff like that. But I've never I've never really done it with my crochet or anything. I should. It would just be a memory for myself, wouldn't it? Not for anybody else, just for myself. I don't know whether anybody else ever does it, whether you've all been dedicated and you take notes and you write things down. I've got one lady at Knit Club, I think she's got memory issues. She writes everything, every single thing down. Every row she's doing, she writes everything down. But I think she's got memory issues. This is why I would never write a pattern, because I can't even understand what I've written when I come to do it again. And it's me that's written it, you know what I mean? I'll write 100 ch, which means 100 shame. And then I'd just put like treble stitches or fan stitches or whatever stitches to so many rows, which wouldn't do, because today's younger people who are crocheting want to know every little in and out and how many stitches, how many rows, how many this, how many that. And I just put increase each side every 6 rows, something like that. They want to know how to increase these 6 stitches, how to do that. I mean, Kelly had a go at making sock patterns at one stage, and oh, this one woman, you have to put at the end of every row how many stitches I've got to have, and then I know I'm right. And she's like, oh. Well, it says increase every other row until you've got so many stitches. No, she wanted every row writing down. I think Kelly made one pattern and she gave it up. I couldn't do that. Plus the fact I crochet in English. You know, I don't crochet in American. You know, I was saying trebles and everybody's saying, no, that's a double crochet. No, it's not a double crochet to me, it's a treble. I mean, I learned to crochet at 13 and I learned to crochet in English. And it's hard to change the way you think when you've crocheted that way for so many years, that when I get an American pattern, I have to stop and think. And I have to start looking. I wish they'd write on the pattern, this is UK terms, this is US terms. I wish they'd write that on and not presume that you know. You know, because you have to stand there thinking about it. Do they mean my treble or do they mean an English double crochet, you know? Yeah, I used to write things down, as I say. I have written patterns down that I've used, and I think I'm going to do it again. But then I don't understand my own notes. So, you know, there's no hope for me. If I don't understand my own notes, how can I expect to write a pattern for somebody else? Well, they're very nice, these, but I'm fed up with them now. At one time, I could eat the whole packet, but now I just get fed up after a bit. But I'm not a neat crocheter, Dotty Gran. I'm not neat. I'm hit and miss. I mean, it suits me. Don't get me wrong. It suits me. But I would never put myself up for, you know, in America, you have these like fairs or whatever, and you put something up and you win a ribbon or something like that. I would never put anything of mine up. And my stitching up leaves a lot to be desired. You know, I watch her and I watch Sheila and see how she stitched everything together, and I think, oh my goodness, don't ever turn mine inside out, you know. I am definitely not the best stitcher upper in the world, yeah. No matter how good I am, I always manage to finish up with something poking up. I'm always trimming things off with my scissors, and then I trim it off and then a hole appears. I don't mean a hole in the fabric, I mean a hole in the seam. And then I think, oh, what did he do that for? So then I have to go looking through my bits and pieces to find something that's the right colour to stitch the seam back up again. But we've all got our things, but as I say, writing patterns, crocheting patterns or knitting patterns is not my thing. I think you have to have a flair for it. It's not the easiest thing. Anybody who thinks it's easy to write down a pattern, it's not, you know. I can understand why people charge as much as they do for patterns. But I don't mind paying a reasonable amount for a pattern, but I think some of the patterns are ridiculous when they start asking £8, £10 for a pattern. And I mean, it's something that maybe you will only knit or crochet once. And yeah, I think Sophie uses both. She's used figure of 8 one, which I never understand, and the round ones. I've never really done it. I don't know. I've got one of those Addy machines. In fact, I've got two. I've got the little one and the big one. I had a phase where I knitted hats and things on it. In fact, Sue and I were talking about that on the phone today. We were talking about the knitting machines, and she couldn't remember why she'd got her Addy out. I think she said she was making a neck warmer, I think. But my Addy likes American yarn. It doesn't like... Oh, shush, phone. It likes American yarn, you know, that 4-weight in America. It doesn't knit double knit very well, and it certainly doesn't like Aran. Oh, it's still talking about that Israeli Arab war thing. As I say, I just wish they'd all stop it. Whatever it is that they're going through, I just hate it when there's all war and they all fall out, and I hate it. Oh. It does that from time to time and frightens me to death. I balance my camera on a little tub of chewing gum, and every now and then it goes vroom. And it always frightens me to death when it doesn't. Yeah, it is getting ridiculous, all this falling out and wars and bombing each other and that. And I don't really understand what it's all about. I don't really want to know what it's all about. You know, but they go on and on and on, and, you know, you see all the destruction that's happening. Somebody dropping a bomb on here and a missile on there, and I just don't. I wish we'd all stop it. Other countries get dragged into it then, don't they? Oh. I didn't live through the Second World War because I wasn't born until the very, very end of it. But I do sort of know about the aftermath of it all, and it is terrifying. You know, and then we've had the threat of other wars since then. And it's just scary. I just don't want to think about a Third World War. Because that would be destruction then, because they'd start using nuclear weapons and that. And that is scary to think of that. But I don't know why people have to sort of pontificate and argue. And it reminds me of little schoolboys, you know, my dad's bigger than your dad, and my dad can beat you up, and my dad can bash you, and all that. That's what it reminds me of, these world leaders. And I'm thinking, you're just like big kids squabbling in a playground. Stop it. You know, and at the end of it, you forget who threw the first punch, don't you? You know, no, I don't want to know. I know it's putting my head in the sand, but I just don't like thinking about it. I'd rather live my little life in my own little way and just think about what happens just around me here, and not think about what happens in the world. When I was younger, I used to think you can change the world, you can do this, you can do that, but then you realise you can't. We don't have any powers as little individuals. It's very frustrating. I only ever really made hats with mine. I've got books actually, for the Addy where it says you can make pieces and put them into cardigans and stuff. And I'm that biggie to take a lot of pieces to make a cardigan. And I'm not much good at sewing up, so at least with crochet squares you can sew them together. It don't look so bad, but a knitted one, if you don't sew it neatly, it looks like a pig's ear, doesn't it? Well, as I say, my Addy didn't like English yarn. My Addy only liked American yarn. I wish they'd have made one that, for double knitting. It's the one thing I've never tried, really. I mean, I've done that peg knitting, which is it's like loom knitting, but on a small basis, isn't it? Where you just have like 4 nails and you go round and round and round. It's a bit like that, really, on a bigger scale, isn't it? I think I'm too impatient for loom knitting. I used to watch a lovely lady called Dina. She doesn't make videos anymore, sadly. And she used to make some beautiful hats on a loom. Because she couldn't knit with needles and she couldn't crochet, but she could do this loom knitting. I can't think I know her videos are not there because I've looked for them. But her name was actually Dina. And she made them all for charity. She used to give them away to her church to give out to the poor and the needy. I miss watching her. She was a nice lady. It's funny, people that you really used to watch and you really used to like, and then they vanish. Probably like me, because I've never made a video since October. Probably people are wondering what the heck's happened to me. But I was just plagued with internet issues, camera issues, moving house issues. I'm hoping to get back to it, as I say, when I stop making Smurf movies. I've never had one, Jean. I've never bought a loom. I think I bought the Addy instead, buying a loom. I thought I wanted it to be quicker by just winding the little handle. But I don't use the Addy. I should use the Addy to try and use some of my bits. But like I said, it doesn't seem to like double knitting. There should be a tension gauge for them Addy machines. Then he could turn. Yeah, she did. She's on Instagram still. Because she often likes my things I put on. But she was a lovely lady, Dina. Yeah, she had about 3 cats, doesn't she? She's got one room in her house now, just for cats. She's on Instagram, something like Coffee Cats or something she's called. Something like that. But she puts pictures of her cats up, but she doesn't seem to put anything loom knitted anymore. I don't know whether she's not doing it anymore. I used to talk to her a lot. Through internet, obviously, not. But after she moved, she used to live in what she used to call the swamp, didn't she? And she moved into like a bungalow. And after that, she stopped making videos. Yeah, she used to live like in the middle of no place, didn't she? I know she was friends for a while with that other lady. Oh, what's she called? One who lives in a caravan. Oh, I can't think what she was called. It'll come to me in a minute. She was friends with her for a while, but then they fell out, so I can't think what she was called. No, her husband was called Brad. I used to watch her, but I got fed up of her moaning, so I stopped. She was one of those that used to be begging all the time. You know, I can't be doing with that. Well, she seems to be fine. Yeah, she likes my stuff quite a lot. You know, just get a little heart from her. She very rarely says anything, but she just, you know. I'm sure she's called Coffee Cats or something like that on Instagram. Have you tried looking her up? She does post things occasionally. I think it's Coffee Cats or something. I know she's on my list on Instagram. You know, on my like list or whatever you want to call it. See if I can find her. Come on, my phone's going on the blink. It's getting old. Yeah, Coffee Cats, all one word. Dina. If you can see it. Coffee Cats, all one word. Dina. She's on Instagram. Yeah, she's just got pictures of her cats. Yeah. Oh, Catherine, yeah. Afternoon treats. I know she stopped doing the dyeing and went back to her job. I met Catherine. A couple of times. You know, at these wool fairs and that. She's another lovely lady. But she just, I think maybe she didn't make enough money because she was a single lady, divorced, I think. Maybe she didn't make enough from doing dyeing and that. I don't know what happened. She just suddenly deleted everything that she'd made, didn't she, Catherine? And then vanished. Yeah. So I don't know. You don't know what happens in people's private lives, do you? No, but if you want to follow Dina, you know, Coffee Cats, she's there. But, you know, she only posts pictures of her cats, but but Catherine's just disappeared altogether. Everything's vanished. She used to have an Etsy shop as well, and that's emptied. Nothing on there. I think she's still got some patterns on Ravelry, Catherine. You know, you could always message her on there, see if she's okay. But as I say, you don't know what goes on in somebody's private life, why they suddenly decide they can't, you know, keep up with the. Because she was always doing the dyeing, wasn't she? And selling yarn and that. But it's like, what she called Countess Ablaze in Manchester that used to do the dyeing of the yarn. She just gave it all up and shut the shop and everything. I went there a couple of times. I went there. Once we went there with the girls that I knew. We had a Saturday. She used to do a knit club on a Saturday. You went upstairs to this room and you paid £2, but you got a drink and some cake or some biscuits. I can't remember which. And we all used to sit there having a knit and natter. And she did the most beautiful hand-dyed yarn. In fact, I've still got a couple of skeins of it. But then she just gave it all up and decided she wasn't going to do it anymore. Yeah, I did have a picture with Catherine, yeah. And with Claire, that was Bob Wilson 123. She's Crochet with Claire. She was over here from Australia. She came to my house and surprised me, actually, Claire. I met her. She's such a lovely lady. Yeah, there's loads of people that have just vanished, haven't they, I mean, Zoe stopped making videos, didn't she? She called something Carrot 24, wasn't she? I mean, she went back to working, doing admin for like a sci-fi group in America. She goes to America a lot. 24 Carat Crochet, that was what she was called. She disappeared. I mean, she's not disappeared. She's still on Facebook and that. But so many people just sort of vanish. And you're thinking, what happened to them? Where did they go? 1 minute they're there, making videos every week, and the next minute, gone. There was another lady, that Happenstance was she called. She had 3 kiddies. She was in America. Something Happenstance she was called. And I used to watch her all the time. She vanished. She put one video about 2 or 3 years back saying, right, I'm back now. And then that was it. That was the one video she made saying, I'm back now. And then gone again. Then I used to watch another lady called Mary in Ireland, and she vanished. It seems like they're there for a bit and then woof, off they go. Perhaps I'm the kiss of death. When I start watching them, they start disappearing. As you say, you don't know what happens. It's probably something happens in their private life, don't they? And then that's it. I mean, with me, it was circumstances why I stopped making videos. It was camera issues, internet issues, moving issues, all things like that got in the way. And, and then I got out the habit. Since I've been here, I've just got out the habit. And when I decided this week I'd suddenly start making videos, that all happened as my original camera won't charge up. And yeah, Zoe, yeah. And then another lady that hardly makes any is the one with the handicapped son. I met her as well. Actually, she came up to Manchester. She was with us at Countess of Blaze. Oh, she still is on Facebook, but she doesn't make videos anymore. She used to have a handicapped son called Chris, yeah. Everybody vanishes. There's a whole new wave of like young ones now, mostly American ladies. The only one I watch at the moment who's in England is Ava P. She's only young, But at the moment, she's not putting any videos up about crocheting. She just moved into a house, her and her boyfriend, and it's all videos about them doing the house up. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think what the other lady's called. Everybody's vanished. Where have they all gone? And then there was another lady who used to sew and had a boutique. She was called Christine. She's vanished. As I say, I must be the kiss of death to people. When I start watching them on a regular basis, they suddenly disappear. No, not Sabrina. I don't remember a Sabrina. A lot of the people I watch at the moment now are not knitters or crocheters. I mean, Jude used to be, because Jude was like Stranded Dye Works, but he's now bought a cottage up in Scotland. In fact, he's been nominated for some award or other. The people I watch now are like the narrowboaters. There's a couple of narrowboaters I watch. Then there's Foxes Afloat that used to be a narrowboater. They're now in a croft in Scotland. So a lot of the people I watch now have got nothing to do with crafting or anything. There's another young couple that are doing a house up. So I think they're in Wales somewhere. I'm watching them. Sadly, there's very few I actually watch. I watched that Cozy Crochet Corner, she called. And there's another one. Something to do with coffee cakes or crochet cakes. She puts videos up now and again. Just trying to think who else I watch. And Craft and a Cuppa hasn't made any videos for a while either. Oh, that's Llama Mama Kayla. She's still making videos. Is it Llama Mama Kayla or Mama Llama? Oh, it's got them 3 notes in it, 3 names in it, but I can't remember which way. Yeah, she's still got videos up. And I used to watch Grace, but then she went into that 5D stuff all the time, and I got fed up with that. At the moment, I watch Ellie. I watch Stitched by Mrs. D. I watch Alex. I can't remember what she's called. I watch Sheila, of course. Who else? I can't remember. But a lot of the ones I watch now, like you say, are nothing to do with crafting. Yeah, narrowboats. I love the narrowboat pirate, Heidi. I love watching her, and the mindful narrowboater. I don't watch much about the van life except for the lady, something Life in a Teacup or something. She's just given up her narrowboat and gone and bought a cottage in Wales. Funny how you start watching different things. Z makes videos now and again, but she's not been well with her RA, has she? So she hasn't been making many videos on YouTube. I think a lot of us, like we go through periods in our life where we kind of run out of puff. I mean, I stopped making as many videos when I don't buy wool anymore now. I don't buy many books anymore, and you've got to sort of stay interesting, otherwise you don't get the views, and if you don't get the views, then you don't get paid, and I think that's got a lot to do with it. You know, I've never got paid much, so it's not made much difference to me. But, you know, you get people saying, oh, my revenue's gone down, and my revenue never went up. So I keep hoping I'll be one of these people that, you know, ever makes a living out of it. I doubt that will ever happen. I certainly won't be doing an OnlyFans, you know, I won't be doing one of them videos. Northerners on tour. What are they? Van life or what? I watch Amora as well because she goes around all the wool shops, doesn't she? All the wool fairs. I watch her just to look at all the new yarns and that. I used to watch Ali Little Drops Are Wonderful, but for some reason I've gone off her. Nothing that she's done. It's just I don't know why. I just suddenly stopped watching her. I used to watch Alt Nuts, but she's a bit weird. She's a bit sort of gothy, isn't she? Alt Nuts. She was always buying those really expensive crochet hooks and stuff. She must have had more money to burn. She used to buy what they call furls. Every time Furls brought a new hook out, she didn't just buy one hook, she'd buy the whole thing. Fibre Spider's still around, I think, yeah. I've never really watched him. I don't know why his voice just doesn't, yeah. And I don't watch Crochet Crowd because Mikey gets on my wick. And I used to watch Bag a Day, but I stopped watching her. I watch Canadian Crocheter when she makes a video. She doesn't make many, but she used to make a lot, but now she doesn't. I watch some really strange. You go down rabbit holes, don't you, on YouTube? You start off watching one thing and then you've got your head down doing your crocheting and it's gone on to something completely different. You think, oh, that's a bit interesting. And I like watching Lucy through Lucy's lens. She goes looking at all these old museum type, you know, where they do houses and that used to belong to people, you know, way, way back. I like watching that. And I used to watch Martin Zero. He used to go in mills that were disused, cotton mills and things. And he goes, you know, and underneath canals and things like that. I watch them. Who else do I watch? Trying to think. No Stitches and Jaxie seems to have disappeared for the moment, doesn't she? Yeah, Alt Nuts. She's a bit weird, isn't she? I started off watching her, but then I got bored with her. I think who else I watch. I watch Afraid Upcycling. You know, she takes tea towels and makes them into these weird, weird dresses. But she made herself a quilt, and I did actually like that. Oh, quilting! I watch Last Homely House. I always love to quilt. I've got no patience to do it, but the Last Homely House, she makes beautiful quilts with all these different colours, and oh, they're so intricate. And she's saying, oh, this is easy, this is easy. And she's cutting these little strips. And I'm like, oh, you lost me ages ago. But I do like what they finish up as. You know, they look beautiful when she's done them. And she's also got another channel called The Last Homely Garden. And Craft and a Cuppa hasn't made. She's made some little shorts lately, but and she's only on Facebook, but she hasn't made any videos lately. Not proper videos, anyway. No, that Green Lambkin Yarns woman hasn't made any videos either for a bit. One with the curly hair. Can't think what she's called now. You watch Kate as well, do you? Yeah. She makes fantastic. I want them curtains. You know, them patchwork curtains she's got in her little house thing. Oh, Suzanne, that's it, yeah. I haven't seen her for a bit. She did appear on Amora's video because she had a stall, yeah. Yeah, tomorrow I will watch Alternative Aging and Joe Good. But they're nothing to do with crafting. They just do clothes mainly and sort of life in London and Brighton, yeah. Yeah, the Crafty Clegs, I watch her, yeah. Watch Jeanette, yeah. I don't watch her friend, though. Her friend that she went to visit in Holland, was it, somewhere? Never got into watching her. Oh, and I watch Denise with all the castings on. God knows how that girl keeps up with what she's cast on. And she's in cross stitch as well at the moment, isn't she? So she's got all this cross stitch and she's got all these cast ons. I mean, she's 40 this year and she said she wants to have 40 cast ons for her 40th year. And I'm like, I can't even cope with 2 or 3 cast ons, let alone 40 cast ons. I thought that's getting a bit much, isn't it? Unless she includes other things like as well. You know, like her cross stitches as well. She's in Malta at the moment on her holidays. We're all going on a summer holiday. I wish. A, I don't have a passport. B, I don't have any money. But that's just a minor detail, isn't it, you know? That's where we need, you see, this billionaire. Who might not necessarily want to come with me, but he might pay for me to go on holiday, yeah. Oh, those curtains, yeah, are so small, aren't they? I'd love some curtains like that, but I know I do not have the patience. I'm very lacking in patience for anything like cross-stitching, embroidery, 5D painting. I mean, I haven't even done my doll's house. You know, the doll's house needs doing badly. I've got all the furniture in a big box, but the doll's house stands there empty, waiting to be painted. And I keep thinking, well, it's a winter project, isn't it? I can do that when it's raining and cold, you know. The same with the knitting machine. I'm thinking that's a winter project as well. When when the garden can't be, well, when my courtyard can't be done. mean, I badly need to decorate in here, but we're back to lack of finances again. It's like a stuck record into everything you'd like to do, but you don't have the money. I pay me bills, I feed myself. Everything else is inconsequential. You have to resign the fact that you will never be rich. But that's why I never check my lottery until tomorrow, because I like to think on a Saturday night that I've got a chance of winning. I'm always disappointed come Sunday morning, but that's another story. Yeah, 40, it's a bit ridiculous though, don't you think, Jean? It's a bit too much, that 40 cast-ons. You know, it's going to take her 40 years to finish them, isn't it, you know? Because she's not a particularly quick knitter, is she, really? So unless she's making 40 socks or something like that. I do wish Denise would remember that she's a lot slimmer than she thinks she is. She makes loads of things that are so big. I saw, you know, that sweater that they all make, is it Ranunculus? The one with all the lace panel here. And there was another lady that I watch now and again, and she'd made one. And she'd made it in, it was like a finer yarn, and it fitted her beautifully. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm sorry, Denise, but you make yours far too big. Oh, and I watched Leslie, of course. You know, not quite enough yarn. She's sadly going through it at the moment. She's another lady, that's what reminds me, makes things oversized. She has these huge sweaters and cardigans. Massive they are. I know she's a big girl, but she makes her sweaters so big. But she's so, I mean, considering what she's going through at the minute, she's so cheerful. I don't think I could be so happy, and, you know, whether she just does it for the camera, I don't know. But she's so positive about everything, and life's just dealing her some really low blows at the moment. But she's dealing with it all, and yeah, she's done so well with her weight, but she still seems to be at the same size that she used to have before she was. And then she'll say things like, oh, I don't think this is going to fit me. I should have made a bigger size. And I'm like, no, no, Denise, it fits you nicely. Leave it. That's another lady I've never got into watching. Mouse's Makes. I don't know why I never got into her. You know, sometimes you just don't gel with a person, do you? You know, you start watching her and you think, she's not for me, you know. Yeah, Leslie's lovely, yeah. I mean, I do hope it's good news for her, with Leslie. All the treatment she's having to have, and, you know, it's making her so poorly. I mean, I've got another friend at the moment. She's not on YouTube. She used to be my belly dancing teacher, and she's going through chemo at the moment, lost all her hair. And she's doing little videos for Facebook, you know, updating us on how she is and that. And you're thinking, oh, gosh, please let it all be all right for her. Yeah, she's so funny and so positive, isn't she? Leslie, yeah. You know, you're really, really hoping, aren't you, that everything turns out right for them. Yeah, I don't know why I don't. No, she hasn't lost a sense of humour, no, bless her. I love it when she talks about her sister. And when the two of them are together, they are so funny together, aren't they? Yeah, some ladies I never kind of gelled with them. I don't know why I don't. It's like Cherry Hearts. I never, nothing against her. It's just, I don't know why I just don't kind of watch her, you know. You start off watching them and then for some reason or other you just go off watching them. It's like that with Ali. Ali's done nothing to me. You know, her videos are probably still good, but for some reason I just went right off watching her. I'm like, nah, get off this. I'll probably go back to her. But I kind of watch videos across the board at the moment, not just crafting videos. At one time I only ever watched crafting videos, but now I seem to be watching a real variety of things. You know, people doing up tiny houses and all sorts of stuff I'm watching, you know. And I'm thinking, I don't know why I'm watching them. And then there's those that do camping out into the wild, you know, they test all these different kinds of tents. And they always seem to camp in the snow. And it's like things that I would never do myself. It's not like I'm interested because I want to buy a tent and go out and do whatever they're doing. And I watch another guy who goes around abandoned houses in Canada. It's you just have phases where you watch different things, don't you? It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger every day. I haven't done any of this for a couple of days. I have days where I just don't feel like picking up my crocheting, you know. It might be big enough with just these two balls. I've actually got like a denim blue colour I was going to put around the bottom if it doesn't get big enough. But I think it might be big enough with just these two balls. Because some 100 grams, you've got absolutely loads of yards on them. Oh, I've got an itchy back. Oh, I haven't got a flea, don't worry about it. That finger's still sore. How can you burn yourself down your fingernail? I did something and it was some food and it went down my nail. And before I could get it out of my nail, it burned my finger underneath. And I was running it under the cold tap and everything. But it's really sore. I don't know. What am I like? Huh? What am I like? I know, stupid. Don't all say it at once. I'm my own worst enemy. I know I am. Yeah, the balls are going down, but there's still quite a bit in them yet. I don't know how many yards it had on the ball. Probably can't see without my windows on. Yeah, it's 100 grams, but I don't know what. Does it say what yardage it is? Mm. 320 yards, 290 metres. So it's quite a lot, that, isn't it? On a ball, even for 100 gram. That's probably why 2 balls will probably make a shawl. I'm not making them massive, they're only shoulder shawls, really. If you make the shawls too big and they're in a wheelchair, they finish up sitting on the bottom of them, and then they can't move. They could put them across the knees, I suppose. If I make a lap blanket, though, I'd have to do it in granny squares. I can't do it all in one go. I was talking to Sue about those baby blankets she used to make. They were log cabin, they were. And she used to make them not in baby colours at all. And they were gorgeous. I can't remember what pattern she used to use, though. She did tell me at one time. I think it's on Ravelry. But she used to use like lime green and purple and colours like that you wouldn't think. But modern mums used to buy them for fun, for babies. And she made another one in like pinks and purples, and I think it was pink, purple and grey. I think there was either 4 or 5 colours that she made them in. But it's called the log cabin. And they were so lovely when they were done. I keep thinking I might have a go at one of them, because I might make a lap blanket if it was interesting enough like that. If I wasn't making row after row, just going backwards and forwards, I can't do that. So yeah, I just can't. It just bores me rigid. I could do one in granny squares, and I might be able to do a log cabin one. I shall have to see. I might message her and see if she can remember which pattern she used. She did tell me at the time, but of course I forgot. But if you remember, Sue was absolutely fantastic at looking at those pictures on Pinterest and then doing them. And I'd say to her, "What are you making?" And it'd be like, "Oh, weird shapes." And she'd say, "Well, you can see this and that and the other." And I'm like, "No." And then she used to do those Japanese crochet designs. I couldn't understand them. And she goes, "Well, it's all a matter of sorting out what the symbols mean. And then when they get the symbols," I'm like, it weren't just Chinese to me, it was double Dutch. She used to make the most fantastic things. And when she'd finished them and she put them together, you think, now I know what she means. But she'd have a piece going here and a piece going there. And she's saying, "Yeah, but this folds there, and this folds there." And tell me about it. But yeah, I'd like to do one of those log cabin blankets. All in bright colours, of course, it would have to be. Oh, when Leslie's sister comes to visit, yeah. She's so funny when she's with. I think it's her younger sister, isn't it? Because her other sister's quite big, isn't she? Like the other, like Linda was. Not Linda, like Leslie was. My shoulder's beginning to hurt now. I've done too much crochet. Man, it's getting near the witching hour, so I can quite put it down without feeling, can I put it, like I haven't done enough. Tomorrow I need to do some housework. Hoovering, mopping this floor. I really don't like mopping floors. Have you all got one thing you hate doing? I hate mopping floors. I'll hoover, I'll dust. Not so struck with cleaning windows because I'm not much good at it. But kitchen floor, no. I'll wash dishes, I'll wash. I did do some ironing. I'm not the best at ironing, but I did do some. There are some of my dresses that when they're washed, they do need ironing. Well, smoothing. Gosh, I was watching Stitched by Mrs. D. She was ironing her tea towels. And I'm thinking, oh, that's going a little too far. Man, I used to iron the bedding on the bed because my ex-husband didn't like wrinkles, on the sheets when you put them on. So I used to plug the iron in at the side of the bed. And he didn't seem to bother about the duvet cover, but he didn't like lying on a wrinkle, on the sheet when he washed it. It was a bit screwed up. So I used to iron it while it was on the bed. I know my friend came one day and she said, I've seen it all now. She said, I can't believe you're ironing the sheet while it's on the bed. I don't bother now because nobody looks at it, only me. So I don't bother. Mind you, when you line dry things like I do here, because I don't have a tumble dryer anymore, when you line dry things, they don't seem to crease the same. And the conservatory, it's only tiny, my conservatory, really small. But I've got, clothes area in there. And surprisingly enough, everything dries in there, even if it's raining. I've not missed having a tumble dryer. And I'll probably be glad of it when the electric bill comes. I'm trying to build up some credit, in the electric and the gas so that when winter comes, although, we may get our winter fuel allowance back again. May do. They've had to do a U-turn on that, haven't they? Because they lost so many votes. It was so unpopular, that decision, that it lost them a lot of votes. It might lose them the next election. Because people were so angry about it. You wouldn't mind, but they're getting their houses paid for, everything paid for, but then that's just the way that it is. Parliament, they look after themselves, don't they? Don't bother about the rest of us. I'm all right, Jack. I'm nice and warm. I'm getting my council tax and rent paid for me by you mugs. And then tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I watch Talking Pictures, the footage detectives. I always watch that. Well, I did 4 at first, Jean, and when my friend took them, and she said, oh, they were thrilled to bits with them, and they'd love it if you made some more. And lap blankets, and I went, oh, shawls, yes, lap blankets, no, it's not my thing. I've only made granny square ones. I made one for myself to use on the scooter, but I did it in double knit done double on a big hook. And I've made 2 smaller ones for my niece's children when they were smaller. I made one like in Harry Potter colour, and I made another one in like a unicorn. Yeah. I don't get any half price electric. I don't think I do anyway. Yeah, I line dry everything. I watched what's she called? Elise Bush. She had this vintage clothing that was all got stains and things on that she couldn't get out, and she dyed them all. Man, she said she didn't get a profit out of it because the dye cost is so much. But she that's what reminded me. She had them drying on hangers in the back garden. Everything I dyed always came out a bit patchy, but everything she dyed came out well. I mean, I followed the instructions. I put salt and stuff in. I mean, I didn't notice she put salt in. But it used to tell you with those Dylon dyes to put loads of salt in with the machine dye. And then, of course, you've got to... Hi, Sandra. You've come on just as I'm going off, love. I go off at midnight when it's like 23:54 at the moment. It's usually Lydia that comes on, isn't it? Just as I'm going off. But we haven't had the pleasure of Lydia today. No, my washer's only small here, so I can only wash a small load. You know, the washer at the other house was a bigger washer, so you could cram quite a lot in. But here I tend to wash smaller more often. In any case, I've only got a line, so I just wash a line's worth. Agatha reading shawl. No, I haven't. That's another lady I haven't watched. Is it Ophelia Talks? I haven't watched her now. There's quite a few people I don't watch, and I can't sort of put my finger on why I don't watch them. It's funny. The lighter grey is running out quicker than the darker grey here. I'm finishing this row, then I'm putting it down because my shoulder's hurting and it's getting near the witching hour. That's midnight, by the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about. That's when I usually switch off and try and get some sleep. If it doesn't thunder and lighten again and waken me up. She's in the UK. No, I'm doing simple shawls because I'm like donating them all, so I'm not wanting to put a lot of effort into them. I know it sounds mean, but I'm using shawl patterns that are quite easy to do. I think it's wooden, Nathan. It's all wood circles with wooden beads. I bought it from one of those handcrafting type shops. I don't always get them from eBay second hand. This one was a new one. Occasionally I fall in love with something that's new. I bought myself a new top the other day, terribly expensive. from Moonbeams and Mayhem, which I should not have bought, but I love it. I'll show it to you one day. It's like tie-dye purples and pinks. Sort of like a tunic with a frill around the bottom of it. I couldn't resist it. I do love Moonbeams and Mayhem. She's not my kind of prices, but she's definitely my kind of styles, yeah. She's a half hexagon. Oh, I'll have to have a look at that, yeah. Yeah, I crochet more on my lives, I think, than I do any other time. She does a live on a week. I'll have to try and have a remember. I'm looking forward to Sunday nights being back to how they used to be when there's something decent. Something decent on to watch. You know, something new, I mean. Sick of repeats. Why that, what's it called? Strike's coming back on, isn't it? Yeah, that's how big it is now. But I'm running out of the pale grey. I've got quite a bit of the darker grey left. So it might finish up with dark grey at the bottom. But I don't think I'll need the blue. I've got some like a denim blue I was going to finish off with if it ran out. And I've dropped my pale grey on the floor. Sunday, is it? Oh, right. I'll have to see, because sometimes there's something decent on for a change on a Sunday on telly. Sometimes there is. See, my pale grey's running out really quickly, and yet the darker grey's got quite a bit left. It's weird, isn't it? Same brand, same yardage, same everything, and yet one runs out quicker than the other. My camera comes tomorrow. I don't know when. They don't come early around here. They normally come, you know, quite late in the afternoon. No, that was the bluey colour I was going to finish off with if I run in. Oh, you've got another flare up. I had one, was it yesterday, the day before, all up my arms. My legs just hurt. You know, that, my bones. It's horrible. You just don't know what to do. You know, it feels like you, I don't know whether it happens with you, Nathan. You know, all you, it's usually up my shin bones hurts, and up my arms up to my elbows, and from my ankles to my knees. And it's just, oh. And you think, that's why I took painkillers when I first came on, because they were hurting. And now my shoulders are hurting because I've been crocheting. But I shall go to bed and I'll get my heat pad on it, and I'll hopefully feel better. And then I'm looking forward to camera coming. My camera coming tomorrow. And if it doesn't work, it's going back. I haven't got the kind of money to keep it if it's not right. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, you can't explain how your bones can hurt so much. You know, unless people know what you're talking about. But I never got it diagnosed because I was having it diagnosed when COVID hit and the doctors weren't seeing anybody anymore. And you couldn't get an appointment to see a specialist because the hospitals weren't seeing anybody anymore. So I never got mine diagnosed as to whether it was fibromyalgia or whether it just was, you know, arthritis on your bones. I never got it diagnosed. So I don't know what it is. So I just take my painkillers, shut up and put my heat pad on it and hope for the best. Yeah. But as I say, you know, people say, oh, you should stop crocheting so much, or oh, you should stop knitting so much. But I find I'm worse if I don't. You know, if I don't do anything, I find that kind of my hands seize up. You know, it's weird, isn't it? It hurts to use it, but it hurts more if you don't use it. How do you work that out? You know, it's just because I've got arthritis in both hands, but one hand is worse than the other. Like, you know, they don't straighten out properly and they're all bending and twisting and my knuckles are swelling. But thankfully, I'm not like Z. I mean, Z's got rheumatoid arthritis, is it? I don't have that. I've just got osteoarthritis. But as I say, I just keep using it and hoping for the best. I don't want to sit here and then my fingers, you know. I had an aunt like that who stopped doing everything and her hands clawed up and she got so that they were like that and she couldn't really do anything. And I thought, no, I'm going to keep using them as long as I can. Just keep rubbing them and keeping them warm. And I wear fingerless mittens a lot, you know, the ones that just come up here and they're very fine and not hand knitted. Very fine ones I buy off eBay. And they just keep this part, I can't deal with this part of my arm being cold. You know, people who wear like 3/4 sleeves or something, I can't deal with that. Even on a hot day, I can't deal with that. Not being covered. You know, people think I'm weird because I'm wearing like fingerless gloves on a warm day. But it's just the way you are. You just cope. And I can't deal with the back of my neck being cold. This is why I put a t-shirt on, because this neck here is boat shaped and it's too low. If I didn't have a t-shirt on, I'd be freezing because I can't deal with my neck being cold. Oh, it's fun getting older, isn't it? Not that you're old, Nathan, you're not, but when you get older, we're talking to Sue about this, you know, saying old age is fun, isn't it, you know, because she suffers terribly with her back as well. I mean, I was talking about going back to, I've not seen an an orthopedic surgeon for many, many years because they told me they couldn't do anything more. And they like took me off the books. But a lady that used to go to knit club, she has an implant in her back that like it's a nerve block. And I'm going to inquire whether or not they can send me to, see an osteopath. Because I used to have the injections in my spine and they were great. They didn't kill the pain, but they took a lot of the pain away. Stopped doing those, didn't they? So I'm going to inquire whether or not I can get an implant, you know. It's not a major operation or anything. They just put this implant in and it's a bit like having one of them epidurals, but it's permanent. Whether I could have one of those done. You know, it just would be nice to have less pain, you know, each day. Because you would be more active, wouldn't you? You know, if you. But now I start to do something, of course I have to stop. You know, I mean, the last week was when I fell on the tram and that jarred all my back and jarred my neck. And I was like, I couldn't even walk around the back garden, you know, when I was watering my plants. I had to keep sitting down and I thought, this is ridiculous, you know. You can't even walk because it felt like somebody was pressing my head down. And the pain was like squashing my spine down like that. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, you know. But as you say, what do you expect when you get to my age? You don't expect to be a sweet young thing dashing around the garden like a whippet, you know. But I just would like to have less pain. You know, it's not too much to ask, is it? I used to lie in bed before I had my operation. I used to lie in bed and make a bargain. I say, look, God, just give me 1 day. Just give me 1 day with no pain, and I'll be very happy. 1 day. All I'm asking you for, 1 day. Never worked, of course. But, yeah. I was taking glucosamine, and actually it was, I was feeling better for taking the glucosamine, but it had a really bad aftertaste with it. Apparently you can get some like gel ones, but they're 10 times more expensive than, the ordinary ones. But the glucosamine I was taking was like in a powder form, and all day long it was like this awful taste kept coming back all the time, and I thought, I can't take them anymore. Just can't, yeah. Hi, Nancy. I'm going off now, love. You've just come on as I'm going off. Can you give me a thumbs up before you leave, though? Yeah. No, it's not much fun, is it, when we get older? But as my dad used to say, there's plenty in the graveyard that wish they were you. So stop moaning. Which is true. I'm still here and I'm still clocking. Do you get a back taste, though, Nathan, when you've took them? I get this awful, and it's all day long. It's like, when you've eaten some oily fish and you can't get rid of it all day long, yeah. Mine aren't that big, it's just that they taste awful. It's glucosamine and whatever it is, chondroitin, vitamin C, rosehip, ginger, and turmeric. And they were working, but they're like a powder in a capsule, and I don't know what there is that's in it, but they keep repeating. But you can get them in oil or something. I googled it, like, do you get a bad aftertaste with it? And loads of people do. It's not just me. And they were saying it's better if you take the gel capsules. But they were about £20 or £30 for a bottle, and I'm like, this is what I mean. You can't buy health, with money, but you can certainly help, can't you? You can get the right medications if you've got the money, can't you? But I just can't take them anymore. It's just, I can't deal with the taste. And it's all day long. That's all you can taste is these. And it's just, as I say, I'm not on my own. I googled it and loads of people have it. And the only way to get rid of it is to use the gel ones. But they were working with me. I won't say they weren't killing the pain, but they were making it easier for me to move about. I did feel as though I was more mobile when I was taking them. But I can't stand that taste. And I took all sorts of peppermints, things, what do you call it? Gaviscon stuff. But no, this taste kept coming back. It was like oily sardines when you can't get rid of the taste, But, and it was ruining my day because that's all I could taste all day long was this. So, joint care from 7 Seas. I should look into taking. It kept coming back up on me, but it was the taste that I kept coming back up on me. It wasn't the acid. It was just this taste. I could not get rid of it out of my stomach. It was there all day, and no matter what I ate after that, all I could taste was this blooming glucosamine. So I just can't take it anymore. I should look into taking some vitamins, really. I don't take any at the moment. I take cod liver oil. I can take that. That doesn't bother me. Even the taste of it, don't mind that. But I can't take the glucosamine, sadly enough. And also I couldn't take the, that's supposed to be good, the black seed oil. But that again, comes back on me. Once again, but these are capsules. These are like little gel things, little jelly things. But they taste on me as well. I'll have to go into Holland and Barrett and have words. But it's all blooming money in it. Here we go again. Oh, to be richer. I don't want to be rich. Just richer. So you could say, oh yes, vitamins, 30 quid. Yeah, I'll have 2 bottles, you know. Do you get a discount if you buy 2? Yeah. Cheaper in Savers. Sometimes things are cheaper on Amazon, aren't they? Sometimes, yeah. But I don't take multivitamins at the moment, and I know I should. I was talking to one lady, and she said all the vitamins she needs that she takes are actually in the vitamins that are for pregnant ladies. But when she looked at all the list of the ingredients, that's the one she buys. She said she gets some funny looks because she's like me in her 70s, you know. But she she gets these for pregnant ladies, these vitamins, and she said it's got everything in that she needs. Yeah. Yeah, I take vitamin D and I take vitamin D3 and I've got a box. So this is what I have to take in a day. Other people have a pill box, don't they? I've got a great big box. And that doesn't include the injections as well. Yeah, I've got B12 and D3. And the cod liver oil, of course. And the cod liver oil. 1,000 milligrams of cod liver oil. In fact, I haven't took that today, so I should. But with magnesium, I need to take something. Not magnesium, me. Glucosamine. Yeah, I can take my cod liver oil. That doesn't bother me. I shall have to look into it. I'll wait while I get Savers. I don't think we have a Savers here. No, I don't think we do. That's my cod liver oil. I can take them. No problem. I can chew them. I can chomp them. I like the taste of them. I was just a little kid who used to love that cod liver oil and malt, you know. Oh, give me a spoonful, mummy. And my brother's going, yeah, get away from me. Maybe I should see if they still do cod liver oil and malt, because malt's supposed to be good for you, isn't it? I was always an anemic little child when I was little. I've been anemic all my life. Don't know why. Tried to get to the bottom of it. They gave me them iron infusions. They told me I'm not anemic anymore. I said, well, why am I not bouncing with energy now? But by the time I do a next blood test, I'll be anemic again. So we'll see. I should eat kale. I've got my lettuce planted up. They're growing. They're about that big now. Can't really harvest the leaves because they're only about that big. But it's all different kinds of sorted lettuces it is. So some have got dark leaves, some have got spiky leaves, some are just ordinary leaves. So I don't know what kind of lettuces they are. I couldn't tell you, but they're all different kinds of lettuce. You plant me tomatoes, not my tomatoes, they're not doing. My potatoes, beautiful big, I don't know if there's any potatoes underneath because they're not enough deep soil. They're just in about that much soil. But they look pretty. All these lovely, luscious green leaves. You know. Yeah, we do shake, rattle and roll. I do anyway. How many bloody tablets do I take? What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. And then I've got my injections, haven't I? 12. Every day. You feel like you rattle. Oh, no, more than that, because I've got my painkillers. Supposed to take 8 of them a day. 24.99. See what I mean? I'm a bit broke. I've just had to buy a damn camera, haven't I? If anybody wants to take pity on me, I've got my coffee underneath here. Yeah, I forgot. I'm supposed to take 8 of these a day. So that'll be what? What did I get to? 13. So 13 and 8, what's that? 21? Rattle and roll, shake, rattle and roll. Yeah, I need to take another 2 of these before I go to bed. Not that they work very well. It's called cordamol. They don't work very well with me. But I can't take the others. I can't take amitriptyline, and I can't take naproxen because it upsets my stomach because I've got hernia. Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I have to keep my injections in the fridge. Yeah. Yep, they're in the fridge, in a plastic bag to keep them dry. Yeah. I've got bruises all around my stomach to prove it. So I do my injections. At least I'm not. Well, can you imagine if I had to take insulin as well? Oh, dearie me. Just sit here while I stab myself everywhere. Oh. When you've done with the injections, there's a tiny bit left in the, your tube thing. People have been getting a little fine hypodermic needle and drawing it up and using that little bit that's left in the, and they were saying it's dangerous, you don't know what you're doing with it. But I always think when I have to throw it away, there's always about a ½ inch of this fluid left in the, the syringe. After you've done your 4 injections, there's always some left in. But apparently people have been, like I said, siphoning it off with a hypodermic needle. But they're saying it's dangerous to do that. They're probably saying that because you're saving money. But it's not a full dosage, it's only a half dose. But so you'd either underdose yourself, or if you did it twice, you'd overdose yourself, wouldn't you? I just throw mine away. Well, at least that went down. I hate it when they stick in the throat. Yeah. I've got stuff in my fridge because I went shopping. Yesterday I opened the fridge. I thought, oh, Mother Hubbard. I mean, the freezer was full of stuff, but vegetables and stuff like that, And you're like thinking, what can I make of a meal with just a load of vegetables? I did have some fish in there as well. But I'm trying to stay away from, like ready meals and junk. I'm trying to stay a bit more healthy. I've actually got duck à l'orange. It was a special offer at Aldi. It's 2 duck legs. Yeah. Soup, I know. I could make vegetable soup. It's frozen veg though, isn't it? I always think soup's more winter. I make loads of soup in the winter. I've got a soup maker. And I've got stew actually in the freezer that I've frozen, made and frozen. I always forget to take it out though. And I won't warm it up from frozen. I don't know why I'm weird like that. I've got homemade soup frozen in the freezer. And I've got homemade stew frozen in the freezer. but I keep forgetting to take it out because I'm stupid. But tomorrow, veggie and fish soup. Tomorrow I've got... The thing is, I didn't pull it out of the case. It said there were 2 duck legs, and I thought, oh, I'll have one tomorrow and one on Monday. No, they're in a bag. So you're going to have to cook both of them. So I don't know whether you can reheat the one you've cooked in the bag. I wish they wouldn't do that. So I've got to cook the both of them at once, as far as I know. I've probably got to cook them in the bag. I haven't read the instructions on them. But I just saw it, duck à l'orange, and it was $4.99, I think it was, for 2. So I thought, oh, that's not bad. It's like $2.50 a leg, isn't it? You know, but I don't want to eat 2 of them. Didn't think that one through very well, did I? It's like I've got 2 lamb shanks frozen, but they're together. And I'm like, I don't want to cook 2. I just want to cook 1. But I think they're in a bag. Why do they do that? Why do they? I mean, I've nothing against Aldi, but they seem to cater for families. Everything's a big size. I mean, I'm all right with the fruit. I don't mind buying 6 bananas and 6 pears because I get through them, you know, without them going off. But lots of other things, they've got huge bags or huge bundles. I managed to get a tiny little bag of potatoes. It says little baby potatoes, this tiny little bag. I thought, that's enough for like 2 lots with me, because I try not to eat, I think I mentioned, try not to eat potatoes, rice, pasta, things like that, and bread, except in small amounts because of, you know, the diabetes and the carbohydrates have got sugar in and all that jazz. I mean, people who don't have diabetes seem to think it's because you shed loads of chocolate and sweets and things like that. And I mean, I haven't even eaten, it's only a small bag of Maltesers, but I've only eaten, I haven't even eaten half of them. And that's all I'll eat. I won't eat them until another day. You know, it's not that I only have that bag will be like what I'll have this week. I won't have anything else, either chocolate-wise or anything. So, but, I mean, I didn't understand until I was diabetic myself how many sugars are in ordinary things that you don't think, you know. I mean, when my brother was diagnosed with diabetes, we had a terrible time trying to convince him, like, you know, it was the beer that he drank, the lager or whatever. I should explain my brother was alcoholic. You know, and all that, the whiskey and stuff, all had sugars in. And, you know, his diabetes, it was hard to control it because of the drinking. But he did, you know, it just was one of them things, you know. People are what they are, aren't they? But I rarely drink now. I did buy myself a bottle of wine. It's been in the fridge for about the last 4 weeks. I keep thinking, has it got a screw top? Can I just open it and have one glass? I'll have to look. Because obviously I'm not a drinker anymore. But I wouldn't mind maybe tomorrow, if I do manage to cook those duck legs or duck leg, you know, my new potatoes, I might fancy a glass of wine with it. I'll see if I can have one glass. If it's a screw top, I can and put it back in the fridge. It might go a bit flat, but at least I can only have the one glass, yeah. But we shall see. I've not had any wine since, I think I bought a bottle at Christmas. Yeah. But I did have some brandy the other day because I had a really upset stomach. And I had brandy and hot water. And that usually settles my stomach. I don't know why. So I didn't drink it for pleasure, if you know what I mean. I drank it for medicinal purposes. And I like to have whiskey in if I have a cold. I like to have whiskey in. I like lemon, actually, but, you know, I usually buy a fresh lemon if I have a cold, and I have whiskey, hot water, sugar, and a lemon. I know you're supposed to put honey in it, but I don't like honey. But I am definitely not a drinker. Used to be years ago, but I'm not anymore. The brewery would go bankrupt where I'm concerned. Yeah. But still, but I do like an odd glass of wine now and again. And I don't mind those cans, you know, where you get it's Coca-Cola and they wave a bit of alcohol over it. And it's sold like as a can, you know. There's no alcohol out of it at all in it. You never get drunk on them. You drunk a whole shed load of them. But still. Anyway, I'm going to go now. It's well past my beddibo time, and I'm going to... I'm not having anything to eat, and I don't think I want anything to drink because I've been chugging water. So I'm going to love you and leave you, and you never know, that camera might turn up tomorrow, and it might be one that works, and I won't look like a smurf. And I'll be talking at the same time as my lips are moving. That'll be a novelty. And the computer won't swallow the SD card like it did with my other camera. Yeah, just wipe the SD card. Just wiped it off. Yeah. I shall see. Anyway, good night, everybody, and thank you very much for me thumbs up. Yeah? Like, subscribe. Tell all your friends. Because I'd love to raise my profile a bit. As I say, my subscribers are very loyal, and I thank them all for staying with me. I've not lost any subscribers, but I have not gained any. I want that plaque, you know, that sticks on the wall that says I've got 10,000. No, you've got about 1 million subscribers. You have to have one of them little arrow things. I think it's about 1 million or something, which I will never, ever get. So, you know. Can you make me one out of cardboard and paint it? Wannabe. Anyway, good night, and thank you all for keeping me company, and I will speak to you all very soon. And you never know, you're looking at a raffle, you might actually get a video. I know I said it last week. I did try. This will be my 4th video. So if I look a bit stilted, you know it's because I said the same thing 4 times. Okay, bye for now. Bye.